very close to a record high again today with temperatures in the mid to high 80s. And a great kick by Olano means it's Purdue starting at their own 25-yard line on their first offensive set of the game. And there's the sophomore from Clarkston, Michigan. It's Ryan Brown coming out on the field to lead the Purdue offense. His performance in his 4 starts so far this year, Yogi.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, he just continues to improve, and he really needs to have true mastery of the system is in situational football today. Whether it's an early down, don't take too many risks, and that's a challenge. It's a fine line for a player with the skill set of Ryan Brown.
Devin Mockabee in the backfield. They fake it to him. Nitro Tuggle with the reception on the first play of the game. And then cuts inside and across the 30 to the 32-yard line. And so we know, of course, Ryan Brown is the starting quarterback for Purdue. Let's look at the rest of the starting offense for the Boilermakers, who are 2-2 this year.
Yeah, well, they want to get moving a little bit on offense. And your point, it runs through Devin Mockabee. This is a guy who really every time out against Illinois, he's found a decent amount of success as they go again to the RPO.
Yes, they do. It was officially 6 on the first play of the game. And they go to the RPO, and it's caught by Michael Jackson III for a first down to the 36.
Yeah, a huge part of the run-pass option game is just getting the ball out of your hands. This is an Illinois defensive front. They pride themselves on getting to the quarterback. Aaron Henry, the defensive coordinator, is an aggressive play caller by nature.
And they're playing with some tempo here. Mockabee runs. He breaks a tackle. First down and across midfield into Fighting Illini territory.
It's funny you said old head for Luke Altmyer. How about that for Devin Mockabee? He's been around for a long time, right? 3 credits away from his engineering degree. Engineer this, man, just leaping over the opportunity from Bailey to make a tackle. And you're seeing some tempo here for Purdue. This is a big part of the game plan early on.
They've already moved it to the 46-yard line. Kurt Neal with pressure as Brown is running out of real estate and does toss it out of bounds as he's running out of that real estate along the near sideline. Kurt Neal, who was chasing him, is part of that Illinois starting defense.
Yeah, that defensive front, it really follows the lead of James Thompson Jr., the transfer from Wisconsin. He's an absolute star, I think, in this league. How about Gabe Ackus? We'll talk about him. He's got a chance to be a true game wrecker in this one. He'll be at the top of the screen coming off the edge. In the back end, we know what happened in Indiana. They were really banged up, down 7 players in the secondary. Much healthier now than they were then.
The longest play of the drive so far for Purdue. Maccabee's 18-yard run, and this is batted down. Tomiwa Durajaye at the line of scrimmage knocks it down, and now Purdue facing 3rd and long.
Yeah, it was the first drop back of this drive. There was a lot of run pass option early on. They drop back in the pocket, and for a defensive lineman, Durajaye times it up. 3-step drop. In his mind, the clock goes off. He leaps. Nice job. And now Purdue has got to eliminate that tempo. I'd imagine Illinois here is going to show one look defensively and change at the snap. And there they go.
Purdue on the season, 24 of 53 on 3rd downs. This is advantageous for the defense on 3rd and long. And Brown is forced out. Sabor Kareem chasing. Again, Brown has to throw on the move. This time nearly completes it, but it falls just a little bit short of Branch. Broken up by Juice Clark near the 30-yard line.
The defensive front for Illinois can be so confusing early on in this ball game. It looks like they're going to bring pressure. They don't. Ryan Brown try to use his legs. Nice job by the defense. And then late, nice little pass breakup there from Jaheim Clark, who really burst onto the scene last week in their game against USC.
As a matter of fact, the first drive for USC ended last week when Jaheim Clark recovered a fumble. The first drive for Purdue today ends with a PBU for Jaheim Clark. And Jack McAllister, 49 yards per punt. The line of scrimmage is the 46, so his average is going to go down, but the field position works out successfully. It's fair caught at the 12-yard line. And so Illinois will take the field for the first time in the game. We're 1:39 into the game, and we'll see Luke Altmyer running the show at QB right after this.
Marathon is rewarding fans with savings of up to $1 per gallon. All by earning rewards on every gallon and on select in-store items. Making every pit stop and snack break worthy of a celebration.
Score.
The more you fuel up, the more you score with Marathon Rewards. Marathon, the official fuel of the Big Ten.
Rally House, shop every team in town. College and pro, come on, it's time to go.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
Jerseys, headwear, fit for a win. Shop the latest styles in the Big Ten.
Rally House. It's your city, it's your house. It's the Rally House.
Level up your fandom in-store or online at rallyhouse.com.
Man, this takes me back.
Too deep and I'm trying to keep up above in my head instead of going under.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
You're looking at Carvana's newest and proudest customer. So proud that we're teaming up to create Shackvana. Shackvana will be 100% online so customers can shop from anywhere.
That's so Shackvana.
Visit Shackvana or Carvana and buy your car today.
If Jerry knew football the way Tom Brady knows football, he would in no way be able to handle it. Tom Brady knowledge is 10 pounds of football in a 5-pound bag of Jerry.
Come on, Ryan. You gotta look off the safety before you... When the safety rotates down, just rip the seam.
Nobody knows football
Come on, we can do better.
like Tom Brady.
It's not that hard.
When you fire up Big Ten Plus, you get more game, nonstop, around the clock. More live games you won't see anywhere else. More access to your team, wherever you want, 24/7. More stories.
Unstoppable.
More highlights.
Whoa!
More big-time playmakers. Plus, catch up to 4 games at once, so you'll never miss more shots, spikes, and scores. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on.
Illinois will begin from the 13-yard line the first time in this game. 13:21 left in the first quarter. Last week against USC, Luke Altmyer, the first Fighting Illini player since Kurt Kittner in 1999 to record a passing, rushing, and receiving touchdown in the same game. Terrell Pryor, the last to do it in the Big Ten in 2010. And so here is Altmyer on the field with Kaden Feagin starting at running back. And Feagin runs the ball on a first down and gains 3 yards. On Illinois' first play, Feagin leads the way as part of the group of starters, but there is a noticeable change on the offensive line, Yogi.
Yeah, you'll see as the graphic continues here, the center, TJ McMillan, he's going to get the start today. Josh Kreutz, he's available, but only emergency. And there you see maybe the impact of not having Josh Kreutz at the center there as the defensive line makes play in the backfield.
Yeah, because Feagin, who went into today with 300 yards rushing this year, just lost 2 on that play.
This is a very aggressive defensive front. They cross the face of the right guard, Brandon Henderson, and they get inside the center. There comes a third down.
C.J. Nunnally from Purdue told us this week that horn and those fans give him goosebumps for every third down. Feagin's in motion. They'll throw it inside to Hank Beatty, maybe Altmyer's preferred target. He's really good when it comes to yards after catch, but not quite good enough. In that case, he is tackled 2 yards short. They've got Andarius Coffey back and playing today, and part of that tackle.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this is a nice play from Barry Lunny, the offensive coordinator, a little tunnel inside screen to Hank Beatty. But how about the tackle? Doing a nice job right there in the back end, to your point. This secondary, they know they got to make plays, and Coffey making one as the captain.
Coffey's really been banged up this year, so to get him out on the field was important when we talked with head coach Barry Odom and defensive coordinator Mike Shear yesterday. Here's Keelan Crimmins punting for the first time in today's game. Michael Jackson is back to receive, and as he leans back, he cradles it for the fair catch inside the 40-yard line, officially around the 38. As it's time for today's Keys to the Game, sponsored by Modelo.
Yeah, we'll look for Purdue. They got to let their quarterback cook a little bit. Let him deal. And I think they did that in the first drive. And then forcing Luke Altmyer to hesitate defensively. Nice job there rallying to stop them on a third down. And then for Illinois, they got to hold the pen last on both sides, meaning defensively, can you scheme something a little bit late to try to force Ryan Brown to hesitate? Offensively, the same deal, and they got to win the line of scrimmage early on. Purdue, that's a really nice job on that last drive. They won that drive.
Did well against the run on first and second, and then tackled Hank Beatty short of the first down on third down. From the 38, after a 41-yard punt, Out to the edge to tight end Rico Walker. George Burhen is unavailable due to injury today, so Rico Walker will take on a larger role in the throw game as a tight end.
Yeah, and they're going to try to get the ball out again. And I love just the timing, right? We're seeing an up-tempo offense here for Purdue. Why do you want to do that? Because you want to try to catch the defense so they cannot continue to change their front and their cover.
The clap and the snap, and then a quick throw. And Branch, with a bit of blocking on the edge, steps into Illinois territory, officially at the 49 for a gain of 4.
Doesn't it feel like Purdue feels like they're in control offensively?
Absolutely.
You know, it doesn't feel like they're on their heels at all. Often in this season's games, go back to the Notre Dame game, they give up a touchdown on the first play defensively, and all of a sudden you're back on your heels. They're trying to be the aggressor.
Fake the run, roll, throw down the sideline, and getting turned around was the receiver, Michael Jackson. The ball sails out of bounds. Well, this is when Purdue sort of lost that control you're talking about in the last drive, Yogi. They were moving the ball, and then they had an incomplete pass in 1st and 10 and never got back on schedule.
Yeah, and that's part of the run game. Like, don't be shocked to see a run here from this offense just to give themselves third and manageable. I think they're close to 4-down territory, meaning they got 4 downs to get to the first.
Motion for Armand Branch. Lockaby's an option out of the backfield, but Branch runs out of the tackle at the 45-yard line and then sprints to the sideline. Branch has turned a small gain into a big one and sets up the Boilermakers with a 1st and goal as he's bumped out of bounds.
This is a really nice job, and not only getting the ball out, but then getting a little bit of help from Devin Mockabee. You'll see him at the running back position.
2nd down.
Oh, we got a huge penalty here.
Yep, this one's going to come back.
Purdue only averages 4 penalties a game, but this is a costly one.
Yeah, and you're going to see it right here at the bottom of the screen, I believe. Keep an eye on as the snap happens. Yeah. I don't know if he was eventually set on the motion.
Illegal formation was the call from Jason Nickleby, the referee in the game. And the ball goes back to the 46 of Purdue. That negates a pass play that set them up with 1st and goal. Now Brown looking to run, sprints to the sideline, and the room he had to run went away very quickly. Short gain.
Take a look at the previous play. And you'll see just kind of 2 people moving here. There's a running back, there's a wide out. Yeah, never really gets set, and that's a costly one. I mean, you just cannot have the unforced errors. Takes away a big explosive play, and this is really what the staff was talking about. Like, now they're behind the sticks.
They are really behind the sticks at 3rd down and 14 with just over 5 minutes gone by in the game. From the 47, Brown steps up. Decision is to run. There's room in front of him, and that is what concerned Brett Bielema and Aaron Henry, head coach, defense coordinator, respectively, for Illinois so much.
Yeah, it's so hard. Sometimes you can have the perfect defensive call, but against the legs of Ryan Brown, it doesn't necessarily work. It didn't work there. Nice job by him just making the decision to climb the pocket, and now they're back in their rhythm. They're back in their tempo. Bring a late sub, so now here comes Illinois. This is great. The officials are going to stop it. Purdue needed to get another player on the field. They changed personnel groupings. Illinois does the same thing, so slows down that tempo.
Antonio Harris came onto the field. That was 3rd and 14, and Ryan Brown ran for 16. Brown rolling right, Leon Lowry chasing, and once Brown was out of the tackle box, he throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, every quarterback has to have an internal clock. 1, 2, 3, clock is off. You feel the pocket collapse. You feel Gabe Ackes almost in your lap. You know where the sticks are, and I love how he dives forward. Quarterbacks are often taught, especially Ryan Brown, they don't want him taking a lot of hits. They don't want him getting shellacked on the sideline, is what Coach Odom referenced to us in our meetings yesterday. But this is a competitor, right? This is a guy who wants to win this game so badly after a year ago.
Yeah, Yogi, offensive coordinator Josh Henson said it too. Don't get shellacked. Here's a throw, and getting shellacked as he caught it was Michael Jackson, but he's able to hang on to the ball as he got hit by Miles Scott, and it is enough for a 1st down for Purdue.
Yeah, and this is, again, one of those situations where you just got to know time and space. You got to really understand this as a quarterback. Watch Ryan Brown as he drops back. His eyes immediately go to that flat defender. He thinks his throw can beat the coverage. It does. They give him the 1st down.
Michael Jackson already more catches this season than any other season in his career. And now a run to the outside. 10-yard line, 5-yard line, leaning for the goal line is Antonio Harris. And he's out of bounds just shy. Antonio Harris has only carried it 12 times this year, but a big carry down inside the 2-yard line.
That's a nice job from this offense. Let's see his foot there. It's out of bounds. A great call by the officials all over it.
Yesterday, Josh Henson, the offensive coordinator, said we need to spread things around in the run game, and so Harris with a chance, and now, Yogi, here comes Malachi Singleton at quarterback.
Yeah, they're going to have to use a timeout here just based on the play clock.
Play clock was down to 4 seconds, so a timeout is called by Purdue. We're back after this. Football on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Marathon, official fuel of the Big Ten. And by DirecTV. These are plays from last year's Illinois-Purdue game. In overtime, Armand Branch had his only scrimmage touch of the year to run for a touchdown, but Dylan Rosiak that is, sacked Ryan Brown on the 2-point conversion, and Illinois escaped with a 1-point win after they squandered a 24-point lead in that game.
Oh, how much fun is this? I mean, this is exactly how you want a rivalry, as you know.
Yes. Here's the battle for the Cannon. The Purdue Cannon, the inaugural trophy game in the series, 1943. 8 of the last 15 decided by one score. Illinois hasn't won back-to-back since 01 and 02. Purdue's won 15 of the last 20. Last year in the 100th meeting of the series, we just saw some highlights. They scored 99 points in game 100 of the series, Yogi. Unbelievable.
Yeah, let's hope we can get a version of that.
Pressure on Altmyer. D'Amico Kennedy chasing, and it's a catch along the sideline. Colin Dixon caught it and goes out of bounds. Let's go to Ashley Adamson in Chicago for a Thrivent Studio update.
Mark, Wisconsin going with their third-string quarterback Hunter Simmons at Michigan today. Opening drive, though, no problem. The Badgers go 75 yards. Dylan Jones punches it in. It's 7-0 Wisconsin at the Big House.
It's 7-0 here. Purdue in front. And the battle for the Cannon Trophy. We just saw Altmyer hit Colin Dixon on a pass of 15 yards to open up their second drive. Slipping a bit is Khalil Valentine on a run of 4. A Purdue player's helmet comes off as well.
Yeah, it's
number 40 for the defense
early on.
needs to come out for one play since his helmet came off.
Ian Jeffries.
They only 3 plays heading into this drive, so we really haven't seen what they want to do in this game. We'll be curious to see how much shifting and motioning they do. That is a part of this offense under coordinator Barry Lenny Jr., but I think against this Purdue defense, they move so much. It's really hard to get a beat on them. They might come out like they do now, just in a bunch formation, try to get a tell from the defense so Luke Altmyer can just react to what he sees.
First series at running back was Kaden Feagin. Second series for the Illini is Khalil Valentine, and Altmyer does turn that into a positive play. 2-yard gain before Manny Powell and Charles Correa, 2 linebackers on the Purdue defense, make the stop as we look at the Boilermaker defense.
Yeah, you referenced Manny Powell. He's going to line up everywhere. Here comes a third down. Don't be shocked to see number 16 coming off the edge. Then Slusher, he's coming off his best game in his time here.
Here's third down. Hank Beatty in motion. 4 yards to go. And they have the 4 and a little bit more. A pass over the middle is complete. They get the tight ends involved in the throw game, and Tanner Arkin with his 5th catch of the season, the second-year transfer from Colorado State.
Okay, keep an eye right there. That's Manny Powell. You watch as the snap goes. He's going to twist inside, and this is just the veteran element of Luke Altmyer. He sees the movement, says, okay, I just got to beat that with my throw. Here he goes again. Got a shot.
And he'll go to the check down to Feagin on 1st and 10 at the Purdue 47. And that is a first down for Feagin on the catch.
Okay, so let's talk about this Illinois offense. What are they? They are, and this might be a little bit short.
It is just a bit short, you're right.
Sometimes they go heavy personnel here, trying just to get this short yardage. Multiple tight ends in.
The tight ends they have in the game are Abney and Arkin lined up on the left side, and an extra offensive lineman in the game as well. And Valentine, wow, that play was blown up by Charles Correa from Kuli'o'o, Hawaii. Charles Correa with a big play on 2nd down and inches.
Yeah, these linebackers have really shown up. Watch the snap. It's like he times it up. And the snap, and he just goes immediately. Really impressive scheme from defensive coordinator Mike Shear. Again, the twisting, the movement. It's a challenge for any offensive line. It's a big challenge on the center. And TJ McMillan, again, he is starting due to injury to the captain, Josh Kreutz.
They've got such great continuity at that linebacker spot, too. All these guys have spent time together at other schools, talking about Powell, Correa, and even Alex Sanford when he's in the game.
Correa had a couple of tackles for loss last year at UNLV, as a matter of fact, Rhett. He had a tackle for loss there, but Illinois survives it. They complete the pass to Colin Dixon to convert on 3rd and 2 to the Boilermakers 35.
Okay, so let's take a breath here, right? What does Illinois want to do offensively? It's a pure progression offense in the passing game, meaning Luke Altmyer is going to go to his first read. If it's not there, he's going to go to his second read. If it's not there, he's going to go to his third read, check it down, or utilize his legs. Meaning he's not necessarily making every read based on the defense. It should allow this offense to find a little bit of rhythm.
They've got 12 personnel in the game once again. Hudson Clement in motion. And a downhill run. 1 tackle broken. Khalil Valentine breaks an arm tackle, Yogi, and picks up a 1st down. Taj Rael with the tackle at the 24. A run of 11.
How about this initial cut? We'll see it right there. Boom, with his left foot in the ground. And it gets away. Purdue with a little bit of face mask there. They're lucky they're not tacking on some extra yardage.
That's Charles Correa who made that tackle for loss on 2nd and short just a little bit ago. Correa 4.5 tackles for loss so far this year, including earlier on this drive. Officially, this is at Purdue's 23. Valentine again. Big hit, Manny Powell right at the 20-yard line. It's time for the Impact Player, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Hank Beatty, I mean, he's the guy. Red zone, 3rd down, he is the top target for Luke Altmyer. Defensively, Manny Powell, we've talked about. He's going to line up all over the field for this Purdue defense. On the flip side, Gabe Akers, he's got a chance to really be a game wrecker when he's on the defensive side. And Maccabee, we know what he's done in this game, in his pass already today.
Love what defensive coordinator Mike Shear told us about Manny Powell. Kind of called him affectionately the Wanderer, right? He's their best pass rusher. He's their best playmaker, which is why you're going to see him all over the place. And he's tracked this staff. He was with them at Arkansas, at UNLV, and now here trying to make an impact at Purdue.
Well, as the Wanderer, he does like to go around and around and around on defense for Purdue, but no one around Luke Altmyer right now. Now there is Powell at the last second, flushing him from the pocket. Altmyer got away and takes this down to the 17-yard line. There's also a penalty flag down right now as well.
That's an impressive job by the defense of Purdue. There was nothing for Luke Altmyer. He scrambles, tries to get some positive yardage. This would be a key flag.
Only 1 penalty in this game so far. It was on Purdue. Negated a long pass to Armand Branch. Here's Jason Nickleby.
Personal foul. Legal blindside block. Defense number 5. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. 1st down.
It's on Charles Correa. And that's an interesting penalty to be called against the defense.
Yeah, well, sometimes you get some of these on quarterback scrambles. You can sometimes see some of these blindside blocks show up. Big point of emphasis 2 years ago. Let's see if it shows up again here. He's running right here, I believe, as the play continues to unfold. And, yeah, there it is. That's an easy call. He's got to use his hands. Mark, if you use your hands and extend, even if you knock the offensive player back on his backside, they're not going to call it. Because he uses his shoulder, it's an easy call.
Again, 12 personnel for the Illini at the 8-yard line on 1st and goal. Khalil Valentine has had a nice drive, but he's upended right at the line of scrimmage on 1st and goal. Now, let's go to our rules analyst, the one and only Mike Pereira, with a little bit more on that blindside block call of the defense.
Yeah, I think it's a great call because it's far away from the point of attack. So you have officials watching everyone, and player safety, you want to call that. To me, it wasn't an easy call. It was a great call.
Well said. It's so hard to appreciate. There's so much going on, so many moving bodies at high rates of speed. Nice call by them, but unforced error for Purdue.
Beatty in motion. Last minute of the first quarter. Altmyer keeps it. Marker down. Was a play just back to the line of scrimmage in any event. And a flag is thrown. Tackle by Breon Ishmael. Transfer from Michigan.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Offense, number 73. 15-yard penalty. Still second down.
Yeah, Josh Geske, you'll see it as the play develops. Watch his hands. Yeah, just keep sliding up. Again, officials all over that. 2 penalties in this game on both teams that are relative unforced errors. And now for Illinois, they got a great kicker, so they're always seemingly in his range. But nonetheless, a challenging penalty.
And David Olano is excellent from 40 yards and in. If this drive doesn't go any farther, then he's looking at approximately a 40-yard field goal. He won last week's game with a 41-yard boot. The penalty has pushed Illinois back to 2nd and goal at the 23. They only average 44 penalty yards per game. 15 yards lost on that penalty. Cole Rust is in motion. They flared him out to the left side slot. Slinging it for the end zone is Altmyer. And it's broken up as he was looking for Justin Bowick, who had a big touchdown reception last week.
I'll say this, the back end of Purdue, after giving up some explosive plays in their 2 most recent games, they have done a nice job of communicating as route combinations have shown up in the secondary. And you go back to what the head coach Barry Odom referenced to Rhett Lewis to start the game. They've had 2 weeks to prepare. It is showing up in this ball game in terms of nobody's running, screaming wide open down the field.
You referenced the last 2 games for Purdue after wins against Ball State and Southern Illinois, losses to USC and Notre Dame. This is 3rd and goal from the 23. Right now, a clean pocket for Altmyer. Receivers are covered. Check down throw for some yardage, but obviously well short of what is needed. Kaden Feagin catches it and is down at the 16-yard line. And that check down throw is the last play of the first quarter.
That is the end of the
Purdue
first quarter.
pitches a shutout in the first quarter, and they got a short touchdown run from Ryan Brown for the only score of the game. And West Lafayette take advantage of this outstanding offer. Speaking of outstanding, David Olano in his Illinois career is 15 of 16 on field goals from inside 40 yards. This one is 35, angle right to left, with Keelan Crimmins as the holder. And for the first points of the game, David Olano has connected. A walk-off field goal last week, just the 3rd one in Illinois history while trailing and hit as time expired. So it's Purdue 7, Illinois 3. Brett Bielema's team scores for the first time in the game. There's Barry Odom, Purdue's first-year head coach, 48 years from Lawton, Oklahoma, and what a history he has in the game.
Yeah, and just it's really fun when we get to meet with these coaches and talk about the influences. He talks a lot about Gary Pinkel. Gary Pinkel talks a lot about that man right there, the dog father, Don James, legendary coach at Washington, but also had an impact at other schools, notably when he met Gary Pinkelred.
Yeah, well, Gary Pinkel spent 12 years coaching for Don James, who he also played for as a teammate of Nick Saban's at Kent State. So the goats of process are alive and well in this game, because that, if you talk to anybody around this program, the thing that comes back to you about Gary Odom is his detail-oriented approach. Everything matters. Coach Odom said he got that from Gary Pinkel. So I talked to Coach Pinkel this week, and he said, well, you know what? Coach Odom is a better me than I was with his detail-oriented approach. Again, Coach Pinkel got that from Don James. Really cool connections in this game.
David Olano, who just hit the field goal, kicks that out of the end zone. And let's go to Ashley Adamson in Chicago for a Thrivent Studio update.
Guys, I'll take you back to Ann Arbor after taking the first punch. Michigan swings back. Justice Haynes ripped off a big run on this drive and then finishes it, his 7th touchdown of the season. We are all even at the big house, Mark.
Ashley, I'm glad you used the punch metaphor. Aaron Henry, Illinois' defensive coordinator, said yesterday, rivalry games are games where you have to mentally prepare yourself for like a boxing match that's going to go all 12 rounds. And this game has that feeling right now, Yogi.
Yeah, as it should, with the history, the rich history between these two teams.
101st meeting of Purdue and Illinois. Roll right, throw back left. Oh, and that's caught out in space. It's Malachi Thomas. All 3 running backs that play frequently for Purdue have touches. Jaheim Clark with the tackle, but a gain of 16 yards.
Ryan Brown's seeing the field really cleanly right now. He's, this phrase in quarterback play, like, do you have quiet eyes? Meaning, do you feel like you're seeing a lot? If you see a lot often, you don't see much. You see a little.
Quick throw. And once again, Thomas. And Branch and Tuggle, and particularly Tuggle, trying to help him out as a wide receiver, block downfield, and another first down.
You can just see the validation of Coach Odom's process here in the program and outside the program. How about Purdue Hall of Famer Drew Brees? Just sent me a message earlier today, said beyond impressed with what Coach Odom has done for so many of these new players. It's a really good scheme, offense, defense. You can tell the players have bought in quickly. There is belief now that they will compete at a very high level. Future's bright for Purdue football with this next generation. That from the Purdue Hall of Famer and soon-to-be Pro Football Hall of Famer Drew Brees does not get better in terms of seals of approval there.
A great report, Rhett.
To be Rhett Lewis's phone. Right? How about that, man? That's awesome.
Just got a text from Drew Brees.
Yeah, well, he's a right point. Hard, smart, and tough. That is the core principles of this team.
After 2 passes to Thomas for 16 and 13, it was a loss of a yard for Brown. Then he throws the ball to the 34-yard line. Illinois is acting like the ball came out of the hands of Michael Jackson III. But it's a catch to the 39, Yogi.
Let's take a quick look again. Decisive from Ryan Brown. Let's see, when is the knee down? Oh, the ball looks out to me. That is out. And they're going to try to run a play fast. Officials, they're going to take a look at it even faster. But how about that?
The field was that the runner was down before the ball coming loose. That play is under further review.
I believe that was Rosiek who was coming in to punch it out.
This is a great angle right here. See the catch. You're right on the punch out. How about the timing from the captain? Catches. First question, is it a catch? Yes. Is there a football act? Yes. Now is he down? Forearm is down. No, not yet. Ball to me is out. That is so tight. That is so close.
And so it all comes down to, is there enough evidence to overturn the call?
Let's see, ball. I think the ball is out before the forearm is down. Again, you are looking frame by frame at Michael Jackson III, the 2-time transfer from Georgia and USC.
And let me ask you this, Yogi, again, there's 3 parts of a catch. We know he's got control. We know he's got a body part down, but does he have the time element for a move common to the game, in your opinion?
Yeah, for sure. I think he does. The question then is going to be who's got the ball, and it looks like that at the end of that one, Illinois did recover.
Well, if there's a fumble, Illinois is going to recover it. They've got 6 fumble recoveries this year to lead FBS, tied for the lead in FBS. Mike Pereira, rules analyst. What do you see on this play, Mike?
Yeah, I think there's obviously the 2 things to look at. Is it a catch? So they got the first 2 elements, which is control and a body part. And then the time, and he turns upfield and is moving upfield. So in my mind, since they ruled it a catch, it needs to stay a catch. And then here, I do think the ball gets punched out. Right before that forearm gets to the ground, you can see the ball coming out. So, and yeah, and let's take a look at this in real time. They're so difficult to judge, but to me, when we look at it, I do think it's out. And now the officials on the field did rule that the defense recovered the ball, 30 recovered the ball. So if they feel that they can turn that into a fumble, then Illinois is going to get the ball.
And if they do, it would be the 7th fumble recovery for Illinois this season. Again, they lead
After
FBS.
review, the ruling on the field has been changed. The ball came loose before the runner was down. Illinois clearly recovered. It'll be first down and 10, Illinois at the 38-yard line.
Well, Yogi, that is such a big component of Illinois' success this year, forcing turnovers, in particular fumbles, and a big play by Rosiak and by Hayden.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, this is not common to Purdue. They haven't lost a fumble all season long, and they just lose one there. And they were really in control, moving the ball offensively. So they're going to the sideline feeling confident. No, that was another self-inflicted negative. That's the third one of the game for Purdue. They overcame the first one on the penalty, eventually found a touchdown, but the other two led to points. We'll see what this one leads to.
That was today's team comparison, brought to you by Ace Hardware, the first lost fumble of the year for Purdue. Rosiak forced it, and now Altmyer. Will he take a big shot? It's to the sideline, caught in space. Hank Beatty. Beatty racing down the sideline, runs away from a tackle and in right after the turnover. Touchdown, Illinois. 62 yards to Hank Beatty. A huge swing of the pendulum here in West Lafayette, Indiana. Turnover, one play, 6 points for the Illini.
Yeah, watch this receiving core as the play develops, and then watch this back end. They're going to run into each other. It's a post route from Hudson Clement, and then the two DBs literally just run right into one another. You don't see it that often. It happens there, it leads to an explosive play after a turnover.
For Hank Beatty, that is his second touchdown reception of the year. And for Luke Altmyer, on the season, 12 touchdown passes in his career between Ole Miss and Illinois. 50 touchdown passes for Luke Altmyer. 62 yards to Hank Beatty, and Illinois has their first lead of the day in the game. Across all sports at Purdue, they raise money in these games all year long for the incredible work that's done at the Purdue Institute for Cancer Research. Touchback on the kickoff after Illinois' 62-yard one-play drive, and this was the play.
Yeah, and that's Hank Clement. Watch him as the play unfolds. And then all of a sudden, Travion Wright and Taj Rael right there. They're going to run right into each other, and that's going to allow for the explosive play down the sideline. Clement hustling there, try to get a little extra block at the end. Doesn't need it because of the speed of Hank Beatty. And it should be noted, Tony Grimes, the captain, the starting corner, not going today for Purdue. Depleted, might have shown up right there on that explosive play.
Tony Grimes is out. Injury sustained in practice this week. Not anything believed to be a long-term injury, but he's out today. Travion Wright starting, and he got caught up in the wash on that touchdown by Beatty for 62 yards. Now the drive starts for Purdue with a running play for Maccabee on first down. 8 yards. Christian Earls is the tight end. George Burhen is out today. And Joe Barnum with the tackle right at the line to gain for Purdue. On the Maccabee run, it's to the 35, and it does move the chains.
And again, if I'm Purdue, you got to feel pretty good about yourself for a quarter and some change offensively. I mean, you've been able to move the ball down the field. Self-inflicted turnover leads to points. Can you sustain another drive here?
Well, they're trying to establish Maccabee on this drive, Yogi, with 3 consecutive carries to open the drive. The first one went for 7, almost 8 yards, and then just a couple of short runs afterwards.
Yeah, well, look, the longest run of the season coming in today was for the quarterback, Ryan Brown. So now they go empty. Keep an eye on him, potential QB draw.
Looking downfield, and will make the pass, and sustaining a hard hit as he caught it was Michael Jackson III. JoJo Hayden delivered that hit.
But the athleticism, Ryan Brown, he's back there in the pocket. Again, they don't want him necessarily sitting in the pocket. He feels the pocket collapse. This is the athleticism. Yep, I got it, no problem. He's like a little point guard out there. Nice job just dealing to a spot, goes right back to Michael Jackson. Nice work from him.
And now Malachi Singleton, he's come in. Transfer from Arkansas, Kennesaw, Georgia. He's a sophomore. You see the rushing yards he has this year. He's thrown 7 passes as well. And so let's see what they do here on 3rd and 1 with Singleton at quarterback. An obvious threat in the run game, and he got to the edge. Oh! He got the first down and then blasted by Matthew Bailey. Man, did he pay the price to pick up that first down.
Yeah, he did, but he's coming off the field pretty juiced up too. Check out the hit from Bailey. low man wins. Take a listen.
Singleton, 2 tough yards on 3rd and 1 to throw the ball. Brown, and it lands in between 2 potential receivers, Branch and Jackson.
You know, a big part of offensive coordinator Josh Henson's background was the last couple of seasons at USC with Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley really got known at Oklahoma of running the football and also throwing it when he's pulling offensive linemen. You saw that on that last snap. Keep an eye on that. When you're pulling an offensive lineman, you're trying to get those linebackers, those second-level defenders to come up and bite on that and then throw it behind their ear hole.
Kind of interesting, Yogi, the 4th different running back for Purdue that we've seen today. Jaheim Merriweather's in the game now. He's only carried it twice this year. He was a potential target in the pattern, but instead, that pass goes to Armand Branch and just inside the 50.
Yeah, and this is going to be an aggressive game plan for Purdue. We talked to Coach Odom about that, meaning this is 4-down territory. You got 2 downs to get a 1st down, meaning you can run it here. I keep an eye on the legs of Ryan Brown. They love the run-pass option, little fake to the back. Will he keep it? Will he get rid of it? He hasn't kept it over the course of the last 2 games against SC and Notre Dame. Maybe he will here.
Now the running back is Antonio Harris. This is 3rd and 5. And it will be the legs of Brown, but a big play is made by Angelo McCullum, the 300-pounder from Pickerington, Ohio.
He just finds his way immediately into the backfield. You'll watch him right here in the middle of your screen. Takes on 1, 2, but his eyes the entire time are in the backfield on Ryan Brown. They know he's such a threat. That was priority number 1 for Aaron Henry's group. Do not let the legs of Brown beat us. They do not dare force a punt.
And now the punt by Jack McAllister. Oh, and he didn't hit it well, but it's going to take a nice roll. And there's a late flag. There is a late flag that's come out as this punt is down near the 11, 12-yard line. But right at the end, as that ball was rolling to a stop, a marker came down.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a hold on Illinois.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 20. Half the distance to the end to the goal from the end of the kick. 1st down, full timeout.
Well, you'll see it on the left side of your screen here.
Put this Illinois team in a tough position. There it is on the outside. Good call by the officials. We'll be back. We got a banger.
Matt Painter sent Barry Odom an autographed basketball from the team for his first win as Purdue head football coach, and he said he's really leaned on him for culture discussion here at Purdue. From his own end zone, a pass by Altmyer. It's caught and on the move and into Purdue territory is Ashton Hollins. He doesn't get many targets, Yogi. This is just his 14th career catch and 3rd of the year. But what a play by Hollins from Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah, this is a really nice shot from Altmyer as well. Backed up, sometimes you just want to take a shot, especially if you see an aggressive defense. I think it's just a busted coverage. I think Travion Wright thinks he's got help behind him. Nothing doing there. Another explosive play in the pass game. Back-to-back snaps.
49 yards to Ashton Hollins. Came in with only 200 career receiving yards. I mean, that is just a huge play to move it from the 6 to the 45, and then defense steps forward. Alex Sanford at linebacker with a tackle for loss on a run by Valentine.
Back and forth we go. This is an explosive outfit offensively. They bring back most starts in the offensive line, among the most in America. Struggled there early on in the season. Last week made some hay against USC. And look at those numbers in the last 3 plays. 114 passing yards. I'd be curious to see what this defense does here. Do they have 2 safeties deep trying to limit another explosive play?
After the 49-yard explosive to Hollins, a loss of 2 on the 1st down run. Quick release pass by Altmyer. Feagin makes 1, makes 2 miss. And then knocked off his feet at the 41-yard line of the Boilermakers by Charles Correa.
And the challenge now for Purdue as Luke Altmyer is getting the perimeter game going, meaning he's throwing to the outside. He's getting the opportunity to get the ball to players in the flats in space.
Yogi, doesn't that free rusher in his face just cool, calm, collected, get the ball out, know where you're going with it, make an on-target, on-time throw right there, speak to the evolution of Luke Altmyer's game?
Yeah, and third down, that's where he has had some mastery.
Altmyer completing 71% of his passes this year, but he wants to run it, and he's hit hard. That was 3rd and 7. And Charles Correa with another big hit. Ian Jeffries was part of the mix there as well. And that went for just over 2 yards.
Yeah, well, they know this offense goes through Luke Altmyer. Correa, relative spy there. Nice job sensing it, seeing it. And I like the tackle, too, getting his head to the side. Nice, clean tackle there to a runner. And Luke Altmyer, they're going to go for it on 4th.
Well, Illinois has been nails on 4th down this year. 5 of 5 on 4th down attempts here in 2025. Just inside the 40. This is 4th and a long 4. Play clock is running down. And the timeout is called by Illinois before the play clock expires. We'll be back for a critical 4th down and 4 right after this in West Lafayette. Timeout taken by Illinois. Yogi, what are you thinking? This is 4th and 4, Illinois at the Purdue 39-yard line.
Well, I'm kind of going to go back to the well, and it's probably got to be a version of one of your wideouts. I'd go to Hank Beatty, number 80. He has been the man on 3rd down in the red zone, #1 target. And if you're Purdue, play to this crowd a little bit. Can you heat up Luke Altmyer a little bit? And I play press coverage on the outside against this bunch. Look at the top of the screen.
By the way, they're going into the wind. We did see David Olano routinely hit in warm-ups from 60 yards on field goals, but that was going the other way. Oh, and there's movement here before the snap. Oh, Taj Rael came racing across the line of scrimmage before the snap from the Purdue side.
Offside. Defense, number 21, unevaded to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Wow.
Take a listen here. That's a beautiful job from Luke Altmyer. One clap, quick clap, trying to time it up. 1-0 doing, and Brett Bielema saying, yeah, that's my veteran. Every week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they talk situations. How do we manipulate the defense? Beautifully executed there.
And it turns 4th and 4 into a 1st down. Feagin has had a tough day running the ball. Stacked up with the line of scrimmage by Jamarion Harkless, among others.
Well, on one hand, they kind of got lucky on the penalty, too, because if that was an interior defensive lineman and he ran into an offensive lineman, that would have been a free play. And it would have been a touchdown down the right sideline. So it wasn't ideal, of course, for Purdue, but it could have been catastrophic. They live now to see if they can end this set of downs with 5.5 left in the half.
Today, Feagin has 3 rushes, 1 yard. Leading rusher for Illinois is Khalil Valentine with 16 on 6. Play fake. And Altmyer will sling it. Oh, he's already found Hank Beatty for 1 touchdown today and finds him open along the sideline for a catch and 1st and goal at the 7.
Look, this offensive line has taken a lot of flack this season for Illinois. Pass protection is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Look at those guys up front passing things off, cooking steaks back there like he's tailgating, and then he finds his boy, Hank Beatty. Look at that. That's just great. His back Feagin didn't even touch anybody.
From Hank Beatty right there, almost like he was coming out to block the corner on like a quick throw and then got free with nobody home on the sideline.
28 yards to officially the 6. And a fumbled snap, Luke Altmyer. We've already seen a bobbled snap and a quarterback pick it up and run it in for Ryan Brown in this same end zone, but Altmyer couldn't replicate those theatrics.
But I think also to Rhett's point, throughout the entirety of this game, how about the back end, especially in the first quarter for Purdue, they were passing things off really well, great communication. A lot of those routes trying to put the secondary in conflict. They've been beat a few times in the back end of the second quarter here. And now they got to bow up here inside the 10-yard line, and this is really where Luke Altmyer has thrived. He can anticipate tight windows. Again, loves finding crossing routes. Keep an eye on Clement, 13 in the slot at the top of the screen.
Under the 4-minute mark. And this is a timeout call by Illinois, up 10-7. We're back in 30 seconds. This is second down and goal with just under 4 minutes left of the first half. Illinois with the ball.
Keep an eye on the two tight ends at the bottom of the screen. They love crossing routes, trying to really impact the minds of those linebackers.
Arkin and Abney are in, and they block it for Kaden Feagin, and barely touched as he runs it in. Well executed for Illinois' second touchdown of the day, and for Feagin, his fourth rushing touchdown this season.
Brett Bielema, he says his teams, they need to run the ball. Watch the left side of your screen. It's just going to wash down the entirety of that Purdue defensive front. You reference those two tight ends. Everybody gets in the mix. Easy pay dirt for Kaden Feagin.
The drive started at the 6-yard line and ends with a 6-yard touchdown run. And the extra point by David Olano extends the lead to 10 points.
This is a team that has to execute if they want to be one of the tops in the country. They're trying to rebuild that reputation. They do it right there on the offensive front.
This scoring drive sponsored by Marathon, and certainly it deserves some flowers with a 94-yard drive, 8 plays for Illinois, resulting in a 6-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, really nice job of execution for Brett Bielema's squad. And these two coaches, they know each other so well. They go back decades in the coaching profession. One thing is true, they preach situational football. And here we are in the final 4 minutes of the first half. They call it the middle 8. We'll see how they both attack this part of the game.
Ooh, just on the north side of the pylon. That was very close, but went out at the 1.
Kicking team, number 24. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Well, our crew here in West Lafayette, just outstanding camera work. You see the ball go out, Yogi, at the 1-yard line.
Well, speaking of head coaches, they've battled. They have battled in many conferences, as this is the first one here in the Big Ten. Back in their days in the SEC, Barry Odom getting the best of Coach Bielema, but they're so tight. After that last win, that's when Coach Bielema was let go at Arkansas, and we talked to Barry Odom about him. He called him right after the game. They're friends. They got great regard for one another. See a missed opportunity there. Seems like they weren't on the same page, but these coaches, they are on the same page when it comes to the profession. Maybe not today for the 4 hours. We're competing against one another, but it is impressive to hear them both really echo each other's sentiments about each other.
It is the third head coaching opportunity for both. Of course, Bielema at Wisconsin, Arkansas, and now Illinois, and Barry Odom at Missouri, UNLV, where he won 19 games over the last 2 seasons, and now here at Purdue. So that was an incompletion with Nitro Tuggle, the closest receiver, on first down. The second down pass is caught. Michael Jackson, the third, coming back to it. And because he comes back to it, it is short of the first down by a couple.
Yeah, and this is, again, talk about the game management. Purdue's been up-tempo all half, right, Mark? They're not doing that now because there's this dance of Illinois is going to get the ball to start the second half. So you do want them to touch it, trying to milk the clock here, get a first down, get moving again.
And that's right, Illinois won the toss. They deferred. I mean, you could conceivably see them triple up here as Michael Jackson drops it. It's a tough catch to make, and on 3rd and 2, it's incomplete at their own 43.
Yeah, and not a perfect throw, but also Michael Jackson, we've seen him make those plays before. And for Illinois, this is exactly what they want now, right? They're trying to get 2 for 1 in terms of the possessions and scores here at the end of the half. A nice stop by that defense.
Jack McAllister to punt. This game really changed on the forced fumble by Illinois that was recovered that stopped a Purdue drive, and it's been all Illini since. What a boot into the end zone by McAllister. And the ball will come out to the 20 with 3:03 left. We'll step aside for 15 seconds.
You can get this fixed now and pay later. You can get this fixed now and pay later. And this. Get it fixed now and pay later in 4 interest-free payments at safelight.com.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Longest punt this year for Jack McAllister is 68 yards. That was 57 and into the end zone. And look at how this ebb and flow of momentum has changed in the last 3 drives for the Illini.
Yeah, they really have taken command of the game, and they've really taken advantage of unforced errors. They get a stop there, no necessarily unforced errors for Purdue offensively. They get the ball back.
Field goal and 2 touchdowns, and Hank Beatty has been at the heart of it, and in the heart of the defense, he catches it, running all the way to the far side and slung down. Markers down 2 as he's wrestled down around the 40-yard line of Purdue.
Tell you what, how efficient is Luke Altmyer? The ball is just out. He is just seeing
personal foul.
The field so clean.
Mask. Defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
And Darius Coffey on the penalty.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, how about this, though, just from Luke Altmyer? See the fake right there? He's just reading the defense. He sees Sanders Ellis, number 6, climb towards the line of scrimmage, and then it's a huge window. I mean, talking huge. This is easy for him, this day one install stuff for this offense. He has mastered around this offense. Another explosive play, and then the penalty by Coffey late. That's the 5th big-time unforced error for Purdue. They're really hurting themselves at times in this first half.
Well, Luke Altmyer loves to throw it to Hank Beatty. 3rd 100-yard receiving game of the year. He's at 4 for 137 today, including a 62-yard touchdown catch. Penalties moved it to 25. Slashing into a huge hole for a touchdown. Khalil Valentine. With an extra point, it will be 24 in a row for Illinois here in the second quarter.
How about this offensive line? Did a nice job. Just look at the core of this offensive front. TJ McMillan, the center, right there. He's going to snap the ball, and as the play begins, just keep an eye on him. He's going to step to his left, open up this hole. The rest of that offensive front does their job, and it is an absolute sprint for Valentine in the end zone.
And that happens with 2:25 left in the half, so there's still more time for some twists and turns. But there was no need to twist and turn for Khalil Valentine. Shoots the A-gap and right to the end zone for the score to extend the lead to 24-7. We're back in 30 seconds.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smarter with high-tech features and excellent reliability. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $279 per month lease on a 2026 HR-V 2-wheel drive LX.
For Khalil Valentine, that's his 3rd rushing touchdown this year. Illinois today has scoring drives of 1 and 2 plays. The one play was after a turnover, 62-yard pass to Hank Beatty. A long pass to Hank Beatty, a penalty on the end of the run for a face mask, and then the Khalil Valentine run. And so in the snap of a finger, that drive and this whole second quarter feels like it's just been a massive swing of momentum to Illinois.
Yeah, it's such a big part of playing defense is taking chances. You see as the snap goes, you're going to see the defensive line. They're going to twist. It's going to be a little bit of a stunt, and they get caught moving. And oftentimes, if an offensive line can catch a defensive lineman moving, they can use their momentum against them. They catch Josh Burney moving. They move his body, which opens up not just one gap, but 2 gaps. And to your point, right through that A gap, right? That gap right over the center for an explosive touchdown.
And after the touchback, 25-yard line, Maccabee runs. And Maccabee's hit by Miles Scott. Illinois has 288 yards of offense today, by the way. They average 375 a game. They have 288 today. Will they snap it before the 2-minute timeout? They're lined up to do so on 2nd and 4.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
And they didn't. High levels for the 2nd straight day. Very warm here in north central Indiana. Into the mid-80s today. It was 88 yesterday. Maccabee churning. Does he pick up the first down? No, he does not.
It was great to hear Coach Odom talk about what he did this week with the rivalry game, his first one on the sideline here as the head coach. He put up a big picture in the team room, and on that picture had a name of everybody within the program.
Here's a quick pass. Michael Jackson, the catch. The tackle made, but a first down picked up. Matthew Bailey on the tackle.
And then next to their name was their record in this game. And Devin Mockabee has the most impressive record in this game. He's 3-1. So they're trying to make sure that by no means is this a rebuild. They're trying to win now. And this one's a long way from being over. See if they can find some momentum here before the half.
By the way, Yogi, that was something that Coach Odom got from Gary Pinkel, one of his coaching mentors that we talked about. Pinkel used to do it. Missouri was playing Kansas, put up everybody in the organization's record. By the way, for Purdue, head equipment manager Kyle Gurgley is a 15-6 record. So feels pretty good about that part.
Yeah, they have won 15 of the last 20 matchups, Purdue. Incompletion on first down there for Jesse Watson. Brown throwing. Oh, he's got a man. It's caught in stride. This is going to be a touchdown for Purdue by Corey Smith. Transfer from Tulsa, 60 yards. I don't want to overstate this, Yogi, but this is massive for Purdue, as you have to stop the bleeding when the other team scored 24 in a row.
Yeah, talk about responding, not reacting. That's exactly what this steady sideline of Barry Odom just did.
Extra point makes it a 10-point game. Corey Smith had 4 catches for 49 yards on the year, and here is a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a blitz from Torrey Cox, and the safety just takes a poor angle. That's Miles Scott, the captain. He's been around a long time. Not many mistakes from him. He makes one. Purdue makes him pay.
Let it storm, let it thunder. High as a mountain, deep as a river, come rain or come shine. Days may be cloudy or sunny, but I'm with you, baby. I'm with you, rain or shine. Come rain or come shine.
After Illinois had a 24-point second quarter to swing it from down 7-0 to in front 24-7, a 60-yard pass play, Ryan Brown to Corey Smith. And Purdue has pulled a score back here late in the first half. Big kick by Jack McAllister, and for this noon kickoff, oh, they got started early, the Purdue Breakfast Club. Yogi, can you believe this?
Oh,
6:30 this morning, man.
Yeah, they're all over. You did your early morning jog, got down there for, no, you didn't do kegs and eggs. I think this group did, as they should, because the student section, you just felt them. They had to get primed early. They did just that, and I just love the photo. I love how about the outfits? Then the veterans. They've been there. They've shown the young 21-year-olds how to do it here on campus.
With 1:13 left in the half, we have seen a lot of scoring in the last few minutes of this game. And the last score by Purdue, Khalil Valentine hit driven backwards.
Okay,
Manny Powell.
Let's talk situational football here. Illinois 1 timeout, Purdue 2 timeouts. Purdue is not thinking use your timeouts to get the ball back. They're trying to go to half knowing Illinois is going to get the ball. So they want the clock to bleed. On the other side, Bret Bielema, remember, he does situational football every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with the quarterback room. And when he does that, it's not him talking. They present to Coach Bielema and the staff of how they're going to manage the situation. Nobody better, you could argue, in the country at quarterback at late in half or late in game understanding than Luke Altmyer.
6 game-winning drives at the end of the fourth quarter or overtime in Luke Altmyer's career. They'll opt to run the ball here, and Valentine a successful run up to the 41. How does this change the calculus of what the coaches are thinking?
Well, again, coach is always going to have, the quarterback's always going to have multiple plays in his head. You see head coach Bret Bielema not utilizing the timeout. They get a first down, so the clock stops, and now they got to get moving.
Altmyer, here comes the pressure, he's flushed out. Altmyer throws on the run, and it's caught. It's a first down inside the 40-yard line for Alex Kapka-Jones, just his second catch this year.
Yeah, he's going to spike it here, not use the timeout. They think as though they have 5 seconds to run a play. There's going to be an injury, so the clock will stop.
And it's the receiver on the play, Kapka-Jones from Oak Park, California.
Yeah, so this is going to force the hand of Brett Bielema. How about the scramble from Luke Altmyer, and then just the vision he has. He understands the situation. Okay, let's get as much as we can. Finds Kapka-Jones. Get as much as he can, get down. At the time, only 7 ticks left. The clock stops. With an injury, the clock has to stop. Officials talking to Coach Bielema now.
There's Olano.
Illinois is taking their third and final timeout to avoid a 10-second runoff. Even though the clock was stopped for a first down, if it's under 10 seconds, they must take a timeout to avoid this runoff. This is their last timeout, 30 seconds.
Great job, Jason Nicholby.
Yeah, of just explaining what has to happen here. The clock stops after a first down. If that was the case and everybody was healthy, you would have seen Illinois get to the line of scrimmage, spike it, and then try to run another play to save their timeout to maybe get another 5 yards or so to have an easier kick. Due to the injury, the way the rule states is that if you have an injury, it is a 10-second runoff, right? There's a big emphasis this year on the feigning of injuries. That clearly was not feigning an injury, but nonetheless, that is the rule. Illinois, thankfully for them, had one timeout. They utilized it. They had to utilize it to save the 10-second runoff, and now they sit here. It looks like they're going to go for it. I'd expect a quick out route. The ball's got to be out of Luke Altmyer's hands.
They're at the 40. We saw David Olano making kicks from 60-plus in warm-ups. The longest field goal David Olano's ever tried is 54 yards. Can they put him in better position? There's that quick out, and they catch it first down and steps out of bounds. 1 second left on the clock, and the ball's out of bounds just shy of the 25.
And that's on Purdue. Purdue has 2 defenders around the eligible wideout. They got to hang on to him for dear life. Keep him in bounds. Look, you got a home game. Every once in a while, you get a little bit of flavor in the home clock. Nice job there of forcing his way out of bounds after the reception.
Justin Bowick, easier said than done to keep him inbounds at 6'4", 210.
You're exactly right, and that's a heck of a play to execute to give Illinois an opportunity.
And this is much more manageable, right in Olano's wheelhouse. He won with a 41-yarder at the Horn last week. He'll attempt from 42 yards to give Illinois another score here in the second quarter. It's plunging off to the left-hand side, but is still good inside the left upright. Illinois just had a 27-point second quarter.
Wow. And how about just the way to manage that? Keep an eye on the clock as Altmyer drops back. He's going to throw to his right, to your point, to Clement. He's going to catch it. 3, 2, and then it's a nice job by him forcing his way out of bounds. Look, it's hard. I get if you're a Purdue defender, trying to go against the momentum of a big wideout, to your point. But it leads to this. Perfect snap, good hold. Almost automatic every time with him.
Boy, Justin Bowick really making his presence felt again this week with that catch, and then able to wiggle his way out of bounds and give Olano a chance.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you see Coach Bielema talking to the officials there. Curious what he might be talking about, but just the understanding of the clock and how to utilize it. You just showcased the veteran element of Luke Altmyer. I mean, to the nth degree. And that was perfect. End of half.
And right now, let's go down to Rhett Lewis with Brett.
Coach, saw you working through some things with the officials there. What's going on in game?
Just substitution-wise, we don't want to clear up when we could get the they're doing it when they immediately come to the bench. We got to find out how many personnel they have out there, and then it'll be a better, cleaner process.
Coach, you have responded very well to each of the Purdue scores so far. What's that say about your team here on the road?
I think these guys like to play the game. We knew we could give a chance for Luke there at the end of the half. We thought we had a minute and a half, and obviously gave up a freebie. That was a poor execution on our defense, so offense responded. Come out, we got to get a chance to double dip here. Biggest thing is we got to play the football we know how to play. Don't try to adapt to them.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Rhett and Brett, it could be a great podcast, but it was an excellent interview in that case, as Illinois scores 27 points In the second quarter, they lead 27-14. After a quick break, we'll send it to Rick and the gang for the halftime report, sponsored by TIAA.
Just like witches at black masses, evil minds that plot.
And it's Purdue kicking off. Illinois ended the half with the 42-yard David Olano field goal. That is a mistake. A kickoff out of bounds for Purdue's Seth Turner. And we wait to hear from
There are two
Jason
fouls on the play, both against the kicking team. Offside, kicking team, number 21. That penalty is declined. Free kick out of bounds. Number 93, kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Downstairs here at Ross-Ade to Rhett Lewis. Rhett.
Yogi, you were just running through the explosive play tally squarely in the column of Illinois here. Talked to Coach Odom coming back out of the locker room. Said it's just a result of simple miscommunication, stuff that they have repped throughout these 2 weeks leading up to Illinois. They just need to execute better with their communication on passing off some of those routes. Said the offense has kept them in it. That explosive play at the end of the first half that went for the score is a signal that they are starting to understand how Illinois is attacking them defensively.
More than 2 decades of the Illinois-Purdue rivalry since we've seen a first half with the number of points we saw in today's game. A 41-point combined performance by these two squads in the first half.
Yeah, it was fun early on, back and forth. I think for Purdue, to kind of Rhett's points, as we see, there it is. There's that Cannon Trophy. Somebody's going to be hoisting that up at the end of this ball game. But to Rhett's point, so many times you felt like Purdue in the first quarter at least had the momentum. A huge fumble, and then cost them that momentum, and here came Illinois.
And remember, Illinois so good at recovering fumbles this year. They're 7th of the year. Altmyer will heave it on second down, and it's caught by Dixon. Colin Dixon with the over-the-shoulder catch and a step out of bounds, and yet another big play in the passing game for the Fighting Illini.
This catch is amazing. How about late hands? That's what you say as a wide receiver. He's trying to hold the line, not trying to get forced out of bounds. Late hands, nice job with the catch, and then the tuck.
I think you'd also like to see Hines, the corner there for Purdue, a little more active with his late hands through the catch.
Feagin, a running play, and he's thrown down inside the 20. And by the way, that can't go on our graphic of 40-plus yard passes. It was 39, Yogi.
There you go. Well, keep an eye right there on number 55. This is the center, TJ McMillan. Remember, he's starting today. Watch him once, twice, and that's big time. That's like what a captain would do, like Josh Kreutz, the captain who's usually the starting center. Just eyes up the whole time. I think early on in this game, Mark, he struggled with the immediate pass rush, the quick moves by the defensive front of Purdue. Flawless there to kick off this second half.
Hey, Barry Lunny, offensive coordinator, Brett Bielema told us yesterday they were comfortable with McMillan starting. They love him because he's a coach's son. More on that in a moment. Feagin is hit at the 21-yard line on the run. Crashing down on him, Taj Rael. Now, TJ McMillan is a coach's son. His dad, Bob McMillan, is an Arena Football League Hall of Famer.
Well, they weren't nervous, to your point. He practiced all week long, but now you got to be prepared for this third down. You'll probably see, as Purdue brought in fresh defensive linemen, some sort of exotic pressure.
And TJ played for his dad, Bob, at St. Francis in Naperville, Illinois. And starting today at center, he's going to need to do something here along with the rest of his mates on the offensive line on a 3rd down and 8 at the 21-yard line, and this play won't be snapped. Timeout. With 12:32 left,
Illinois.
it's a timeout called here in the third quarter by
seconds.
Illinois. A timeout called by the Fighting Illini. Later tonight, don't miss a Saturday night volleyball doubleheader. Iowa takes on Washington, followed by a top 20 showdown. Can't wait for this. 13th ranked Purdue, 17th ranked USC. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. What you thinking?
I'm thinking Manny Powell, the linebacker who's lined up all over the field. He needs to have an impact here on this 3rd down. Part of the timeout, he's lined up over the guard. Where does he line up here? Where does he end up is really the question mark for Illinois. They have to answer.
There's been a 39-yard pass on this drive to Colin Dixon. That's been the biggest play. Now 3rd and 8. Timeout called by Brett Bielema to have a discussion. Motion by Hank Beatty. He's having a tremendous game. Here comes pressure, and down goes Altmyer. Hangs onto the ball as he's hit by C.J. Nunnally with his 3rd sack of the season.
I talked to Nunnally earlier this week. He said, when I am near that student section, I get the chills. I try to make a play. As this play unfolds, he comes off the edge, just keeps working and working. Not 1, but 2. He beats Kaden Feagin, that big back at 6'3", 255. And that is an effort play from C.J. Nunnally, who is a first-team All-MAC player, now here trying to be an all-conference player for his team.
2 seasons at Akron, 27 TFLs, and 13 sacks for C.J. Nunnally over the last 2 years. From 45 yards away, David Olano. He got a great kicker in Champaign, Illinois, man. Pepper. It's a Pepper thing. Hey, that doesn't look like David Olano, but that's a nice kick before the game or during the game here at Ross-Ade Stadium in West Lafayette, Indiana. I don't think Spencer Porath or David Olano have anything to worry about, but that was still nice. This, again, is the Hammer Down Cancer game that they do across all sports here at Purdue. And this is the chance to return it down at the 19-yard line on the return for Antonio Harris. That was a 4-point play potentially. C.J. Nunnally just made Yogi on the sack. You know, he's gone Jackson State, Independence Community College, Akron for 2 years, and here's his reaction after the sack, and now at Purdue. We had an awesome conversation with him, and he said, especially playing junior college football for a year, he was 3rd string. He said, we didn't get a lot of resources out there. That's where it really tested your love for football and his desire to play at this highest level of college football.
Yeah, and he joins 81 other players that are new to this roster, 46 after spring football, and they really had to come together and get connected. That's what the best teams do. It's like guys just poured into the relationship aspect of this program. A little RPO, first play of this 3rd quarter completion.
Boy, and a sandwich, a double hit on Corey Smith, but he hangs on and picked up the first down. Got hit hard by Leon Lowry and Matthew Bailey. Remember Smith, 60-yard touchdown reception late in the first half.
And in the first half, a lot of success when they're going up-tempo, doing that again here.
From the 32, a little behind, but still caught. And down to the turf around the 39-yard line is Michael Jackson.
And I think if you're Josh Henson, the offensive coordinator, who's got an extensive background in offensive line play, but they had success running the football. 63 or 62 rushing yards in the first quarter, only 18 in the second. You want to try to get back to that. If you can't, it's these quick throws that can simulate running the ball.
Didn't feel like a great spot, but nevertheless, Devin Mockney around the left side of the offensive line and right near the first down marker. It is enough for Devin Mockney and Purdue.
Yeah, I mean, remember the 3 pillars for Purdue: hard, smart, tough. The smart part has got to show up here on this drive. You cannot have any penalties, pre-snap penalties, any negatives. You're seeing the efficiency early on in the first few plays here of the 3rd quarter.
The stop holding Illinois to a field goal means it's still, in theory, a 2-score game. There's a sling to the sideline, and Jackson moves his shoulder, absorbs some contact, and does move the chains again.
I think the game plan for Purdue coming in was to create some tempo, run the ball enough to not allow this defensive line to tee off on you, and really have not called Gabe Ackes' name much. Alec Bryant, you see him, number 3 at the bottom of the screen a lot either. So not a ton of penetration from that defensive line.
Quick thought here. We saw Jalen St. John at left guard for Purdue go out to injury late in the first half. 360-pound Hank Purvis is in the game. Wichita, Kansas, transfer from UNLV. And he's part of a group trying to open up a hole there on that first down run for Antonio Harris.
It's an extremely aggressive defense for Aaron Henry and Illinois. And they often will have one defensive front and a coverage behind it that doesn't necessarily always marry up, and it's really a challenge to play or try to expect what the defense is going to do coverage-wise. So for Ryan Brown, he's got to just continue to trust his eyes and his progression.
And they'll call Harris's number again, and he slashes through a hole, cuts to the outside. This is a touchdown, Antonio Harris. just in the passing game. 41-yard touchdown run, Antonio Harris. He deserves that kind of celebration along the Boilermakers sideline.
Yeah, this is really nice. A little help from the offensive line, and he just does the rest. Gets some help from his receivers. Torrey Cox playing a little too quick there at the edge. Leads to 6, then to 7, and we got a game.
And they don't chase the points there. They don't go for the 2 to make it an 8-point game. It's a 9-point game right out after the extra point.
And it's exactly the right move. Play this thing out and keep swinging if you're Purdue.
Nine minutes left, third quarter. Illinois up 9 here in West Lafayette. Final drive recaps the entire day around the conference tonight at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Purdue has closed the gap to 9 points with the longest run of Antonio Harris's career and his first touchdown as well. More on that in a moment. Here's the kickoff by Seth Turner. His last one went out of bounds. This one goes out of the back of the end zone. Let's look back at that 41-yard scamper.
Keep an eye right here. Christian Earls on that block. And then how about inside at wide receiver from Corey Smith?
Offside.
This is what eventually will spring
Number 3.
this long run.
5-yard penalty.
One block.
First down.
Kind of gets in the way of Torrey Cox. You'll see it again here. And just the speed of Harris. He's just running downhill. It's one move against Matthew Bailey in the secondary. That's the second time. It was Scott in the first half, Bailey there. They just take a poor angle. Leads to an explosive touchdown.
By the way, there was a penalty, an offside on the kickoff on the kicking team on Purdue. So the line of scrimmage goes out to the 30. There have been 4 25-plus yard touchdowns scored in this game, including the one by Harris a moment ago. Savors the flavor as his first touchdown at Purdue. Here's Luke Altmyer on 1st and 10 at the 30 and drops. Valentine running with it before he secured it.
It's a great point. That graphic nails this game because the first quarter, each team had 2 possessions. And you're thinking it's going to be a Big Ten Classic game, 7-8 minute drives. How many touches are you going to get with the rock? And since that moment, it has just been explosive play after explosive play. And that's nothing that these defenses want.
Please
so I
reset
wonder,
the game clock
are
to
these
8 minutes 56 seconds. 8:56, please.
They reset the play clock. I'm curious if
you.
these defenses will play with 2 deep safeties and just say, you know what, let's keep everything in front of us. I can't imagine them changing, their stripes too much in this rivalry game, but you have to eliminate the explosive plays.
Got a young defensive coordinator for Purdue, 31-year-old Mike Shear. Played at Missouri when Barry Odom was there. For a portion of the time, Barry Odom was there when Mike Shear was at Missouri.
How about the audible at the line of scrimmage there?
And 12 personnel. They open up a hole for Khalil Valentine. He dropped the first down pass, but runs on second down for about 4.
They want to run the football. That is who this team is. Luke Altmyer, he's got such an understanding of defenses. He sees one picture, changes the run. I think he do an advantageous play. Keep an eye on that as he audibles. Will the defense change as well?
The synergy with Luke Altmyer and Barry Lunny, the offensive coordinator, is very apparent. Barry Lunny brought it up yesterday. Luke brought it up when we talked to him on Wednesday. Luke said he knows what Barry Lunny wants out of the offense and out of play calls, and a big play call here, Yogi.
Big timeout, I think, is going to be used here as well.
Timeout, Illinois. Their second of the half. Please reset the game clock.
They've already
to 8
used 2
minutes,
timeouts in the first half of the third quarter of this game. Illinois up 9. Back after this. There's been a lot of ebb and flow in the energy of this game, but it's decidedly swinging in the Purdue direction. They're feeling it here in West Lafayette, Indiana. In this Cannon Trophy game, you see some pictures of previous victories for Purdue and Illinois. It's going to end up with a shot from Pat Bryant last year in that 50-49 thriller.
Oh, there he is. Pat Bryant, such a proud member of this program, and that's what it means, right? You don't need any words, just that image.
42 wins for Purdue since the cannon was introduced as part of this series in 1943.
Manny Powell, keep an eye on him over the ball.
We are not ready to resume play. There's a conversation happening. You can see it behind quarterback Luke Altmyer right now.
I'm sure there's also conversations to the green dot, the respective communicator on both sides of the ball.
Could there be a helmet communication?
I don't think so. But you're seeing Luke Altmyer. It's the right conversation to have, because the way this game is going, it might come down to the very last few seconds. Let's see what they decide to do here.
Jason Nickleby is the referee, and other members of the crew have been involved in a lengthy discussion here. Coming out of Illinois' second charge timeout they've called here in the third quarter. 30-21, Illinois leads with 8:25 left in the third.
Yeah, and this is a third down. This is not four down territory. This is a huge play with the way this game has flowed.
Robert Smith is the back judge that was involved. You just saw that split screen, and you saw the back judge, Robert Smith, talking to the referee, Jason Nickleby. Offensive coordinator Barry Lunny Jr., the longest tenured offensive coordinator in the Big Ten, 4 seasons. See him talking into the headset.
Well, you're just giving so many reminders right now, and to me this is often advantage offense, because you see the personnel of the defense is, it's subtle reminders, little things you can tell your offensive lineman, and Altmyer's got a little bit of swag to him too. He's been around a long time, and here comes this crowd.
Here we go on 3rd and 6. Well, the conversation continues. We are still not ready to resume play.
And both staffs are frustrated with this, because they're showing their hand, whether it's the formation, whether it's the play. Every call sheet has 3rd down, and this situation, 3rd and 6.
On the previous play,
so many calls.
The play clock did not go to 40 seconds. It went to 25. Therefore, Illinois will not be charged with a timeout. We reset the game clock to 8:25.
Wow.
The clock will start on my signal.
So based on the clock not being reset properly.
This is before the last play.
And he said you got to reset the clock. They have to use the timeout. The right job by the officials getting it right. And frustrating as the crowd comes to their feet.
A long discussion to set up this big play in the game. As the volume goes up here at Ross-Ade, the pass is underneath Hudson Clement. He's tackled immediately upon the catch. Only a gain of a yard. And Purdue with another hold on defense. Miles Slusher at safety, leading tackler.
How about Miles Slusher? He's a guy who's had such a journey just to get here. Multiple schools, had to sit out for an entire season, and he just, I'm moving. I could see the inside tunnel screen, drives on it, makes the tackle. Huge stop.
Forces a 4th and 5 and a punt by Keelan Crimmins from Spotswood, Australia. And this is a former Purdue punter last year. This year he's averaging over 46 yards per kick. And this is fielded at the 26. Oh, the ball is free. There's a scramble for it. It squirts back toward the goal line, and that may be enough for Purdue to get on it, or is it? Illinois came away with it. A massive special teams moment in this game. Fumbled punt. Ball rolls away, and it appears the Illini have it inside the 10-yard line. It is recovered by
the ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by Illinois. 1st down, Illinois.
How about this? Squared up. It's the right catch, but it's really the strip is what makes it happen. What an impressive job. And I think that is Sabor Kareem, who's the one who knocks it loose. That right arm. It looks like it was Ashton Hollins.
And there's 2 number 2s.
What a play, though. Regardless of right catch, you got it, but just not protected well enough. And the second time Purdue punches a ball out this afternoon.
And remember, Ashton Hollins has had a huge play in the passing game today. And now a big play on special teams, forcing the fumble. That's 8 recovered fumbles this season now for Illinois.
And Purdue didn't fumble coming into the game.
Yeah, hadn't lost one all
think
year.
about that. There it is. You know,
Timeout for an injured
in these
offensive
games,
player.
explosive plays, turnovers, and the middle 8, the final 4 of the first half, the first 4 minutes of the second half, they dictate the winner and the loser.
Guys, looking at Khalil Valentine, that is down right now, which is something to monitor because we have not seen Aiden Lawfrey yet as well. Kind of tweaked something a little bit during practice. He was cleared to go, but to my count, we haven't seen him yet. It's been just Feagin and Valentine. So, how this affects the available depth at running back right now will be something to follow as they're, kind of in an area where they would like to establish that run game here and punch this thing into the end zone.
That's a very good point, Rhett. It's one of the first things that Rhett Bielema told us yesterday in our visit is that, Lawfrey got back last week. Was able to carry it a handful of times in the win, 34-32 over USC. And on Thursday, just, still was feeling it after he caught a swing pass, but they did clear him to play. Khalil Valentine is up. We have 7 minutes left of the third quarter. And a 2nd and goal coming up for Illinois. See the numbers today for Valentine. Originally from Hayward, California, high school in Chandler, Arizona. He's a sophomore, 10 carries, 61 yards today.
And he's done a nice job, nice change of pace back, different style than Kaden Feagin, but now they've got to ride the vet in Feagin in the run game, but don't be shocked to see a little play action game here. They love utilizing their tight ends down here inside the tent.
They threw one to Luke Altmyer. Remember last week, Hank Beatty threw it. Going to move both tight ends across the formation. Feagin, the running back, 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. And Feagin is hit and driven down at the 5. Manny Powell and Alex Sanford. This is after a fumbled punt by Purdue, recovered by Illinois at the 9.
And prior to that, a huge stop by this Purdue defense on a 3rd down. And now this crowd, this student section rises up again on a critical 3rd and goal. And again, if I'm Illinois, I'm going back to the well. Keep an eye on Hank Beatty, number 80. He's been Mr. Reliable really his entire career.
By the way, they brought Brandon Hansen in at right guard.
And Beatty not on the field. They
Illinois,
use a timeout this time.
Half. Full media time. Correction, 30
and this
seconds.
Definitely will be their second charge timeout of the third quarter. We're back in 30 seconds. Points off turnovers this season, including 7 today. Went into the day tied for 5th in FBS at points scored off turnovers. If they're held to only 3, it's a massive win for Purdue here after the fumble punt.
Yeah, keep an eye in the slot. Justin Bowick at the bottom of the screen. 6'4", big-bodied wideout.
Ashton Hollins is in the game at wide receiver. He's split wide right. He forced the fumble on the punt. Altmyer 3rd and goal. Here comes the rush. Oh, he's hit and down he goes. By Ryan Turner coming off the edge. Yogi, in the second half, Purdue has had 2 huge 3rd down sacks defending in the red zone.
Yeah, you'll see Turner right there at corner. There's no tight end to block him. The tackles got to block the defensive end. There's nothing there. Beautiful job right here at corner, coming on the pressure, and away we go. Another huge play on a 3rd down.
Former Ohio State and Boston College player Ryan Turner from Broward County, Florida, with the sack on 3rd down, forcing a field goal attempt, 34 yards. And it's curled inside the left upright by David Olano. Points for Illinois, but only 3. 33-21, Ryan Turner. massive sack on third down. We're back right after this in this 12-point game. So you're still getting some sun at this time of the year, Yogi.
Yeah, get a little pump on. Get those push-ups on before you head to the Breakfast Club in advance of this one.
After the David Olano field goal, here's the kickoff. It's a 12-point game, and a return. Oh, we got a flag right at the end,
So many flags on kickoffs. I mean, the amount of special team penalties has been more than we've seen in a game all year long.
Yeah.
And this is going to be one of the few ones that...
Offside.
Yeah, this is going to go against Illinois, I believe.
During the return, holding, return team, number 32.
Excuse me.
10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Purdue moves back, and we go to Ashley Adamson in Chicago for a Thrivent Studio update.
Mark, let's check back in on Wisconsin, Michigan. The Wolverines hadn't found the end zone since their opening drive, but late third, Donovan McCulley will not be denied. It's a 29-yard touchdown. It gives Michigan a little breathing room. Up now 10 on the Badgers.
Speaking of breathing room, Illinois has more with the field goal after the fumble point, up by 12. And a little off-the-shoulder catch by Nitro Tuggle, the Georgia transfer. This drive starts at the 10. He's hit hard and almost overzealously driven backwards. Gain of 2 on that pass play.
Hey, Yogi, I like the way they're just trying to start this drive, getting the ball to Nitro Tuggle. I thought he was really good in that Notre Dame game. Had a really nice corner out for the touchdown, and he's only had 1 catch in this game up until this last one.
Yeah, doing a nice job against off coverage, finding ways to get these receivers up against these safeties where there's a little space on the field. Another RPO right there.
Oh, and looking for Tuggle again, who had 10 grabs for 189 going into the day, to your guys' point about the lack of opportunity so far.
Yeah, Brett, there's just so much spacing down there. Fake the handoff, manipulating the linebackers, and a rare drop you see there from Tuggle.
Had a couple drops that have affected this offense and some of the momentum throughout this season. That one you got to have to put you in a better third down and more manageable situation here.
From the 12, 3rd and 8. Brown steps up, and it's another incompletion. Lunging out for it was Jesse Watson, the redshirt freshman, who has 4 grabs and 1 touchdown among them this year.
Yeah, Red, I know we've talked a lot about Gabe Akis coming into this game. He lines extremely wide. There he is on the bottom of the screen. He gets blocked not only once by the tight end, chipped, and then the running back and even the left tackle. There's eyes on him. Even though he may not be affecting the stat sheet, he's affecting the pocket.
That's part of what Indiana did and really limited Gabe Akis' production in that
Illinois.
game 2 weeks ago.
Their third and
feeling
final.
this offensive coaching staff had a chance to look at that and figure out, hey, man, we need to get more eyes, more hands, more opportunities on slowing Akis down because he can be that game wrecker.
You know, the timeout, this is it for Illinois. They've used up all of their timeouts now. Let's take a sneak peek of an all-new episode of The Journey featuring Illinois outside linebacker Gabe Akis.
Gabe Akis, he's so knowledgeable about his position in defensive football.
Yeah, one-on-one. Well, beat him inside. Yeah. Okay.
When he studies and learns and understands what his opponent is about to give him, and he knows the answer before the snap, that's when he's really productive.
Don't miss a new episode of The Journey, Tuesday, October 7th at 7 Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network. So we should note, we didn't see Hank Beatty on the last couple of offensive snaps for Illinois in the last drive, but we see him backpedaling to catch this punt, and he's looking to create something, moving right, then back to his left, and he swarmed. Down he goes at his own 32-yard line.
Guys, that was so much fun. I getting a chance to see and learn more about Gabe Akis through the journey is going to be awesome. I mean, he's a state champion wrestler, uses that to his advantage. And by the way, like, that's something that NFL scouts absolutely write down in the notebooks. In fact, you look at what the Pittsburgh Steelers have done defensively. They have drafted former wrestlers from the Big Ten. Keanu Benton a couple years ago. Logan Lee out of Iowa. Benton was from Wisconsin. And just last year, they went and got Derek Harmon, the big defensive tackle from Oregon. Akis, kind of a scheme fit, Yogi, for what Pittsburgh does too.
I like that, and he's learning from some of the greats, not only his position coach and, of course, Aaron Henry, but also Joe Kim, a specialty coach understanding the pass rush. So well known. You see
someone had a handful of Beatty's jersey.
Yeah, they did.
Marker came in late, but there is a flag down on this play, an incomplete pass for Hank Beatty.
Pass interference, defense number 1. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Smiley Bradford, Yogi.
Yeah, and you'll see there's Beatty. You'll watch the play as it unfolds right over the top of him, that nickel slot corner defender, and that was an easy one. Just kind of grabbed the undershirt. I don't know how much it affected it, but you grab that much cloth, it's going to be called every time.
Well, you can see it from the play-by-play booth.
Yeah.
From the 40 after the penalty. And by the way, Khalil Valentine, who went out injured on the last drive, is back. But down he goes quickly as C.J. Madden knifes in for the TFL.
Well, this defense continues to rise up. And for Barry Lenny Jr. and this offense, again, this is not 4-down territory, right? So you got to just see if you can create some sort of explosive play, which they did. 7 plays over 15 yards in the passing game in the first half. Keep an eye on Hank Beatty. I'd go back to the well. Those corner routes where you can try to manipulate the back end of Purdue.
If you're looking for Beatty, slot on the left side. Here comes Madden. Altmyer sidesteps him and keeps the play alive. And on 2nd and 13, ends up finding Hudson Clement just inside midfield for a first down.
The competitiveness is so impressive of Luke Altmyer, but the way that he can just react to pressure, he can feel the pressure. Remember a week ago, kind of gets smoked in the back end there as a quarterback. Not this time. Feels it, climbs the pocket at quarterback. He teach up one, over one. Just a subtle, explosive movement, and then the catch. Are you kidding me? From Clement with the grab, opens up his hips, his shoulders. The ball takes him with the momentum for a first down.
2 catches today for Hudson Clement, who's played the last 2 years at West Virginia. Khalil Valentine probing, hoping something will open. It doesn't because of Charles Correa. He slams the door shut before anything opens off the left side.
Yeah, good to see Valentine back, but this defensive front 7, they're having their way a little bit against the offensive line, at least in this half. They've made some plays, some negative plays in the backfield. This is something this Illinois offensive line didn't allow last week. They only had 1 play, but negative, where they had negative yardage against USC.
Overall, 171 rushing yards for Illinois against USC last week. Only 1 sack allowed after 7 sacks allowed the previous week. Beatty in motion. Midfield's where it's at. 2nd and 11. Doesn't have to sidestep any pressure. It's a deep pass right on the money to Hank Beatty, down just short of the goal line. Nice catch, even better pass, and on the lip of the cup right now, the Illini at the 1.
You referenced the Arena Football League a couple moments ago earlier in the game. It kind of felt like that with the motion. You'll see it from Beatty as the play unfolds, and all of a sudden, he's just going to keep that momentum going down the sideline. Beautiful job by him. And how about the location, to your point, right down the sideline, the only place he could put the ball.
I also like that, Yogi, that subtle veteran craftiness of creating a little bit of separation.
We're going I formation now. Jordan Anderson's in the game. He plows the road for Kaden Feagin. And after the 49-yard pass to Beatty, it's an easy 1-yard plunge for the score for Feagin to extend the lead to right now 18 points for Illinois.
Well, you just kind of go back to the recipe that's been this game for Illinois. It's been explosive play, and then making it count. Once you get inside the 5, they find a touchdown to extend this lead.
Over 430 yards of offense today, and a lot of them in chunk plays. But this just a solid 1-yard run behind. Good blocking.
Yeah, double team, tight end movement. How about moving the backside guard? Nice job just overall, that entire group, and Luke Altmyer should love it.
The holder is the punter, Keelan Crimmins. Where's number 40? And it's 40 on the board now with the extra point by David Olano. This was 30-21. Purdue had held and forced a punt, then it was a fumbled punt, turned into a field goal, and then that touchdown drive.
Yeah, Hank Beatty, he's just kind of continued to show up for this team, right? We talked about it in the preseason. He's elevated throughout the season. He's become the go-to guy. And to Rhett's point, it's just the little things that he does. A little hesitation, able to manipulate the defender's eyes with his eyes. He's so crisp as a route runner. When he catches it, he always catches it with his hands. And then after the catch, he's been phenomenal. And the little things there, a little bit with that right arm to create a little bit more separation against Ryan Turner. And away he goes. And I know it's early in the day here on a Saturday, but is he not in contention for Offensive Player of the Week in the Big Ten? I mean, come on.
I mean, at 186 yards of receiving, you better believe he's contention for it. First 3 seasons, he has 200, almost 200 more yards receiving in 6 games this year than in his first 3 seasons, and the receptions, as you see, are also quite close.
Well, former high school quarterback, guys, he just kind of has a knack for it. It's hard to explain, it's hard to quantify, but Coach Barry Lunny, Luke Altmyer both saying that Hank Beatty just figures it out, right? He knows where he's supposed to be, and then he's got this natural ability with that run after the catch. It's just such a benefit for Illinois. Big piece of their lead right now.
Rhett, I loved what Barry Lunny said yesterday. Good football players make things right. Hank Beatty makes things right for us. And by the way, Altmyer, look at his numbers and how it stacks up when you look at his career.
Well, you think about that throw, of course, that explosive play, but I go back to an earlier play on that drive. He has to avoid a rush, throws it to Hudson Clement for a conversion for a first down.
A roll and throw, Ryan Brown, and he hits the target, Michael Jackson, who steps out of bounds. That's 9 catches today for Michael Jackson. That goes for a first down to the 36.
I'd really like to see Ryan Brown on the move a little bit more like we saw right there. I don't know that we've seen it as much in the throw game here, Yogi. I feel like when they go tempo now, I'd like to see him out on the move where he can have the option to throw it downfield or take it down and run it.
Will they run it with Maccabee, who comes into the game? They do. And the pile pushes him forward to near the 40. We are winding down the third quarter, Yogi.
Yeah, and a huge part of the game plan, right, to his point, for Aaron Henry, the defensive coordinator of Illinois, is to not rush with your hair on fire, per se, to control the rushing lane. So you're seeing Leon Lowry now on the field, or Joe Barna. They're the 2 defensive ends right now. They're not flying, sprinting up the field for Brett Bielema's squad. They're trying to control the rush. To Rhett's point, they know that Ryan Brown can be lethal once he gets outside the pocket.
We'll have to snap it. There's about a 3-second difference between the play clock and the game clock here at the end of the third quarter. And this is Corey Smith, who's been more and more involved as the afternoon has unfolded, including a 60-yard touchdown reception late in the second quarter. Corey Smith catches a pass on the final play of the third quarter and is out right on the 50-yard line. And so the fourth quarter is coming up next. C.J. Nunley had a big sack for Purdue in the quarter, but Illinois has opened the lead to 19 points here in West Lafayette. Fourth quarter is underway. Snap for Purdue, 50-yard line, and dropped. It was there for Jesse Watson. Would have been a first down and more on the first play of the fourth quarter, trying to dig out of a 19-point hole.
A great combination. Trying to put that slot defender in a bind. Great route, perfect ball. They're just not there. 82 new players for Purdue. You got to make that play if you want to come back and win this rivalry game.
They had a big comeback last year, down 27-3 in the third quarter. Purdue took that game to overtime before Illinois won. And Brown over the middle, no good. Pass for Smith.
There was a little thing there, but at the end of the play, you're watching Miles Scott. Remember, he had the targeting penalty against Indiana. Big point of emphasis was, hey, be even better than the way that we practice. Aaron Henry talked to us about it, just coming low. They do that in advance of this 3rd and 10. There's the hit, doesn't leave his feet, stays low. Nice job getting better from 2 weeks ago to now.
And you could say that across the board when talking about Illinois as a team. What a response. Devin Maccabee breaks the tackle, and because of it, Maccabee turns that into a first down. That's 11 yards, but it's the initial broken tackle that makes the play.
That was a really nice job. You'll see it on the snap. Boom, he's going to sprint out. It's man-to-man coverage. That's Odeluga. He's there. Just can't make the tackle. We see the second time the leap.
Well, this time, Odeluga did make the tackle after a 4-yard pickup and another leap by Devin Maccabee.
One to kick off the party, and here in the final frame, he's leaving it all on the grass.
Way up over Caleb Patterson. Odeluga sure-handed on that tackle. Brown rolling, throwing, and it squirts away from Tuggle. Tuggle going to ground to try to make the catch, but it's incomplete.
Maccabee exiting the game now, but maybe an engine for a potential comeback here for Purdue. And, well, engine is something he's very familiar with. He is 3 hours short of his mechanical engineering degree, which he wants to use to work on cars in some respect. He's been doing it with his family for a long time, and actually one of his projects right now is a 1993 Ford Mustang Fox body, which he's putting a turbo kit on. This guy loves working and being around cars.
Big third down, high on the pass. Again, Tuggle.
And that's really the fourth pseudo drop of this half for this Purdue offense. Again, the right call, putting the corners in a bind. That was Caleb Patterson. You're kind of forcing the corner to make a decision. You want to fall in on the seam route, or you want to play the outside one. Whether it's a tick off or it's a drop, that's the fourth time. And look, as a wideout guy, get a hand on it, got an opportunity to make a play, would have been hard.
Well, the pass game a little bit out of sync, but they can try to salvage something here on 4th down. The play breaking down. Brown extends it with his legs. He was hit low, but he stumbles forward and has the first down. Another play involving Odeluga, and he ran out of an ankle tackle.
I mean, I'm chuckling because we had a chance to talk to Ryan Brown this week. You just got a feeling he's going to do whatever it takes to find a way to lead his team to a comeback victory after last year. First 4 of this season, now in his 7th start. He wants the ball in his hands.
Said that Illinois game last year just gave him so much confidence, the assurance that I could be a really good player at this level.
Okay, the crowd is not happy, but this is completely legal on the substitution. If you make a sub on offense, the defense has the time to make one as well.
Quick little play fake, and Brown's going to fling this for the end zone. Oh, wide receiver's got to turn defender here. You get a coming together between Caleb Patterson and Tuggle.
This one, Nitro Tuggle, it's like they weren't on the same page, because he looks back really early in the route. It's off coverage, maybe thinking he's going to get a quick back shoulder, doesn't, begins to run it, and then collides in the back end with Caleb Patterson.
Ryan Brown wants interference. Man, I loved what he told us about that Illinois game last year this week. He said, that game lit a fire under my butt, and I've been working my tail off ever since.
Yeah, he's got a confidence in him that you could just continue to grow from positive experiences.
And that one's on target, and it's a nice little move made here by Tuggle, stretching, and he got it. Touchdown, stretches out and scores. Oh, what a play by Nitro Tuggle. A little redemption for him in that sequence.
Yeah, we often talk about DBs being able to flush it and move on, but wideouts as well. Nice job by Tuggle. I was curious from up here, is he short? I didn't know if that knee went down or not. Yeah, he looks, from this angle, might be down. Remember, any part of the ball needs to just touch any part of the white in the goal line. I'm sure they will look at this again, but to your point.
Down short of the goal line. It'll be first down at the 1-yard line. Clock will start on my signal.
Negates the touchdown. Would have been 4 straight games with a touchdown reception for Nitro Tuggle.
Yeah, and that's a quick review. Anytime you hear a quick review like that in a game, that means they're on it in Rosemont and immediately coming back saying keep the game flow going.
Well, now the game flow will go to 1st and goal at the 1-yard line for Purdue, down by 19. They have lifted themselves back into a 9-point game before 10 unanswered by Illinois.
Yeah, I think we're going to see extra offensive lineman Jude McCoskey, number 72, I think is in this game here. And a Wildcat.
And Singleton's also in the game, but they're going to snap it. Ryan Brown, and he lowers his head and powers his way in. And it was Maccabee who ran it in. Maccabee ran it in. They went to Mottcat. Well, it was Brown all over that drive, but then Maccabee with the last 1 yard.
Up at the line of scrimmage, and that is just the push, the drive, and the will from the engine that referenced of this campus, of this football program. And here we go. This point in the game, going for 2 for head coach Barry Odom.
So this is a chance to make it an 11-point game. Got Rico Walker in motion. They put the ball on the left side hash mark for this 2-point conversion. 40-27. Plays break it down, and there's a moment for Gabe Ackus to impact the game. Gabe Ackus and Alec Bryant part of that stop.
Yeah, and Sabor Kareem also made it happen in the back end. But make no mistake about it, this is the man trying to drive this team to a comeback victory. Looking good with the car, looking better in the end zone.
Starter to a scholarship player, but wanted to stay loyal to Purdue as this ball goes into the end zone for a touchback. And Drew Brees talked to me about Devin Maccabee and what he means to this program today. Drew telling me Mock is the epitome of what a student athlete should be. He stays loyal to the program and appreciates what a Purdue degree will mean for his life and his career. He is the model for toughness, grit, and determination, and his career represents what we would all want for every student athlete here at Purdue. He deserves all the success that comes his way. Again, high praise from arguably the best player in Purdue history.
Nailed it, Brett. I mean, this is a man who will never have to get a ticket for the rest of his career. I mean, what he's done, what he stuck through, what he recruited to, what this program has become. And Barry Odom feels such a sense of loyalty to him, and that's why they don't use the phrase rebuild around here.
Nice pass to Justin Bowick on first down. Here's Ashley Adamson in Chicago for a Thrivent Studio update.
Back to Wisconsin, Michigan. Anytime you're this close, just give it to Justice Haynes. He always finds his way in. Second touchdown of the day, 8th of the year. Wolverines starting to pull away on homecoming, up 24-7 in the fourth, Mark.
Number 22, Illinois here, Ashley, leading by 13. Purdue just scored, went for 2. Let's discuss here after the play, pending the result of 2nd down and 2. Khalil Valentine, the result is a first down. And he drives up just past the 40 to the 41-yard line. Again, Purdue went for 2, didn't make it after this most recent score by Maccabee.
Yeah, and we had long, extensive conversations around situations with both head coaches. It's a real fun part to just kind of get in the minds of them. And for Barry Odom, and didn't want to chase points early on, right? We had that conversation in the third quarter. Should they go for 2 or not? Decided not to do that. They did decide to go there to try to make it a touchdown and a field goal type of game. I think both of these staffs, they don't necessarily chase points. They want to wait as long as they can before they have to go for 2.
Just saw Brandon Henderson at right guard go out. Brandon Hansen's been playing quite a bit at right guard behind Henderson. 66 in, 75 out on the Illinois offensive line as they open up enough room for Valentine to spin and struggle his way up to the 45.
Yeah, and now if you're Brett Bielema, and these two coaches, they know each other so well, you're thinking about the clock, right? So you're in a huddle, right? Illinois huddles pretty often, but you're trying to milk every second of this thing. You're reminding your backs and your wideouts, 2 hands on the ball. The ball is everything right now with 10.5 minutes or so left in the ball game.
10.5 minutes left in the game. 67 points scored combined today. Over 850 yards of offense. Flea flicker. Purdue sniffs it out. Altmyer keeps the play alive and then throws an incompletion. It's broken up on a pass intended for Bowick, with Travion Wright starting today due to a Tony Grimes injury. Wright, the PBU.
Yeah, they get pressure up front, not tricked at all. Nice job, this defensive front. They bring 5. They bring an extra player to bring a little pressure to the quarterback, and there's just nothing doing down the field. Really nice job from Travion Wright, just staying with them, man-to-man coverage. They don't get caught on the trick.
Yogi, a great job by Alex Sanford and Trey Smith as the contained players rushing upfield. Set a good edge. Here's Altmyer now on 3rd down, trying to keep the play alive. Nunnally grabbed him. Another big play by C.J. Nunnally.
And I think there's going to be a hold on the offensive front, and the edges, they just pinned their ears back, and they just went as fast as they could. And it was a nice job from Nunnally, retracing a little bit,
Holding
making the play.
Offense, number 55. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
You'll see as this thing plays out, some twists, some stunts, just chaos inside. There's the hold. That's an easy one from TJ McMillan to call on him. Just a takedown against that man, Manny Powell. And then Nunnally finishes it off. A huge stop with where we sit in the game.
Nunnally has a 3rd down sack that was very significant today. That was not a sack, but it was still a critical 3rd down stop nonetheless for C.J. Nunnally, the transfer from Akron. And now they call on Keelan Crimmins to punt. Standing inside his own 10-yard line is Michael Jackson, waving for a fair catch, and makes it around the 9-yard line. A lot of intriguing games, and there's one right here in front of us. Purdue's got a lot of green out in front of them to try to make something happen here. The Boilermakers start for their own 9, 10 minutes to go. First play is a run for 4 by Devin Mockabee.
Yeah, and I think you're in everything is 4-down territory, just where the game sits right now. With that being said, you got to feed your studs. Maccabee's got to get the rock. Michael Jackson's got to be the eligible receiver.
And that's the way they're going, and it was read really well as Jaheim Clark comes up to make the play. It was caught, but it's a loss of a yard on the completed pass.
Yeah, how about it? That's what makes this defense so hard. You're thinking it's man-to-man. All of a sudden they're playing zone, and Clark is just sitting on it. And his story, playing 80 of 81 snaps a week ago, making a big play right there on a 2nd down.
Made a big play last week with a fumble recovery. One of 8 recovered fumbles this year for Illinois. That includes today. Big moment right now, 3rd and 7. For Purdue, down by 13 points. And it's incomplete for Jackson. And we saw Clark make a play as a tackler a moment ago. Clark makes a play as a defender in coverage there, Yogi.
Yeah, and that's just Illinois wins the snap. I mean, they bring pressure. The pressure gets picked up, but Clark is just all over it. You'll see it to the left, at the bottom of your screen. And they want a little penalty. I get it. We saw it called earlier. The other way, you get a little of that jersey. When Hank Beatty's jersey was pulled, that was a PI. To me, Illinois gets away with one there.
Hank Beatty back to receive. Here's McAllister's punt. A minute went off the clock in that 3-and-out possession. And then the punt by McAllister is out of bounds, and it will be excellent field position for Illinois. We're in the 4th quarter, 8:55 left. Illinois in front, 40-27. And with the ball now, by the way, at the Boilermaker 46-47 yard line. A little recap of what we've seen Illinois do today. This was after the first fumble of the day by Purdue, a 62-yard touchdown to Hank Beatty.
Yeah, he's really been the guy today in so many different layers of this scheme. Also, how about Valentine, that run right up the middle, and you're thinking, okay, this is all Illinois. Beatty off the motion, another explosive play, leads to a touchdown to Kaden Feagin. But Purdue has not gone away. I mean, they have hung and hung and hung. The challenge now is the clock continues to tick. This is a huge drive, and every week, again, Illinois, they obsess over situational football. So the situation now is this is pseudo 4-minute offense, meaning you want to take as much time as you can. Can you win the game with your offensive line?
And they're going to go end around for Colin Dixon. And Dixon on a run for 3 on 1st down.
Yeah, I think that's the right move. I think whenever a defense like Purdue is having success the last couple drives in the interior of their defensive front, you got to hit them with a perimeter run. Just force them to think something might be coming side to side for me as an edge player.
Talmadge, Ohio, redshirt sophomore Colin Dixon went into the day with 14 receptions this year. Here's Luke Altmyer. His career best, 379 yards last year against Purdue, and he's 1 yard shy of that today. And almost half of his passing yards today have gone the direction of Hank Beatty. That's where 186 of those passing yards have come from. But these passing yards that will give him a new career best go to Colin Dixon. First down.
He sees it so clean on. I mean, their offense is based in the run-pass option game, meaning at quarterback, you have the ability to hand it off, to keep it or throw it on every snap. Doing it is so much harder than just talking about it. You have to understand where defenders are. Where are your key defenders? Where are your indicators? He's flawless because he's so experienced. He's seen so many looks, so many defenses, and he's not greedy. Just like there on that previous snap. Just take what the defense gives you, get a first down.
And that first down is at the 31. Here's Valentine. Maintains his balance to the edge. Hangs onto the ball, ran out of one tackle, ultimately bumped out by Charles Correa after he ran away from Travion Wright. I think they're going to put him down 2 yards short of the first down. Can you believe the completion percentage for Altmyer today? I mean, he came in at 71%, one of the best in the country, top 20 in the country, and he is 19 of 22 today.
How about the confidence, right? The growth in that area told us that, his first start at Illinois, he felt timid, felt like he was playing afraid to fail, to make mistakes. And that growth from year 1 at Illinois now to year 3 has been evident for Brett Bielema. It's evident in those meetings you talked about where Luke Altmyer is presenting to the other quarterbacks and to Coach Bielema, and it's a product of their success right now in the pass game.
Yeah, right. It's a really good point. Luke Altmyer isn't necessarily just receiving information. He also has to present the information multiple times a week. He's presenting the plan around situations just like this. This is a 4-minute opportunity. You want to just bleed as much clock as you can. But to your point about his confidence, it really started at the Penn State game in 2023. He throws 4 interceptions. It's a challenging moment, and he was feeling it. And I think quarterbacks, they can feel social media. They can feel the heat. He now has the tools to navigate that. He's in the best headspace he's ever been.
And the tools include his mechanics. Been working with David Morris at QB Country on his rotation, his body control, and his weight distribution, which has really helped with his velocity and ultimately his accuracy.
And his accuracy has really been on point today, fellas. We got a penalty here.
Full start. Everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Everyone but the center.
You don't call one out. The whole group. And here you go. Yeah, the right call. Center gets a pass on that. But I think to Rhett's point around the velocity, the revolutions on the football, when you watch Luke Altmyer throw, all of his cleats are in the ground. And for all the golfers out there, understand, you got to create a little force with your feet. Ground force equals a little rotational force. It allows the hips to get moving. The arm just follows. I think you've seen him become more accurate, and there's the legs again from him.
And runs out of one tackle and steps out of bounds. He ran away from Trey Smith. Got some yardage back and more from that penalty.
But it's just the point, like when the ball leaves his hand, it is on the front number. Accuracy, location, the revolutions on the football. It's a tighter spiral. He's just really gone to work on that. And you think about his journey. He's in the same recruiting class as Caleb Williams. You think about that. That was a 2020 COVID class. Goes to one school, comes here, and his growth under Barry Lenny Jr., the offensive coordinator, and Brett Bielema has been phenomenal, and he does not ever turn the ball over, at least seemingly in this season thus far.
No interceptions here in 2025. And here's a play made by D'Amico Kennedy. He wraps up Valentine on the running play, which was third down. Got a timeout called now.
Yeah, and this is the right move for Purdue and Barry Odom in terms of when you want to call it, based on the situation.
Purdue,
third down.
their first of the half. 30 seconds.
Get a stop here. I'd imagine he uses one again. You want to now utilize as much clock as you can. You know you got the 2-minute timeout to
5 minutes, 11
your
seconds.
advantage.
5,
and again,
1,
you go
please.
back to the little things that these coaches are constantly, almost maniacally working throughout a week. Clock management is one of them.
It will be third down and 4 coming up. Just kind of looking at the math on this, Yogi, if Purdue does hold Illinois to a field goal, then there still is a path. It's 16 at that point, so there's only one path. It's a very precise one they'll have to follow, but there's still a path.
Yeah. And there's belief. They've moved the ball. Right? Purdue has moved the ball offensively throughout the majority of this ball game. The challenge has just been the self-inflicted negatives, the drops, the giving up explosive plays. So no play bigger than right now here on a third down.
Because of the clock and because of the potential margin on the scoreboard if they're held to only a made field goal. Third down and 4 at the 11. Hank Beatty. Tremendous game today. He goes in motion. Valentine running, and he's hit, but the pile drives Valentine forward. There was initial contact by Taj Rael, and so where's the spot going to be?
Timeout.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be short.
Their second of the half.
Barry Odom.
30 seconds.
He's right near the officials. Call this timeout immediately, like we kind of projected there. And now here's field goal time, to your point. Maybe a 16-point game, and then you got to go, and you'll see that up-tempo offense again.
Taj Rael had the first hit. Rael had it at the 10-yard line, but then there's a push after contact.
Yeah, and just the look at all those bodies in there. I mean, this means so much. Charles Correa kind of finished it off, the linebacker, to keep him from advancing that for a first down. And I'd imagine for Brett Bielema, I'd imagine you're taking the points here.
It is 4th and short.
They've been down the starting center. The right guard has been rotating throughout this second half. Let's see what they decide to do here. They might have their offensive unit out here. Looks like they do. So they're going for it.
Well, the 16 points would have, in recent Ryder Cup lingo, it would have been Dormy. At that point, with 16 points, only thing that Purdue could do is 2 touchdowns and two-point conversions. But this even bigger. Look at this massive formation. It looks like a battleship out there. 4th and 1, and Feagin, I don't know. I don't think he got it.
I don't know either. They bring about as many offensive linemen that were eligible to come on this trip, and they get a stop.
Wow. C.J. Nunley part of the stop. C.J. Madden, too. When in doubt for Purdue's D-line, go to the C.J.'s, and they make it happen.
How about this stop? The care factor, the will, the competitive temperament on display in the rivalry game. And welcome back, and that is a look we've not seen all game long. 7 offensive linemen trying to just to get a yard. Attitude play. They called it a street fight heading into this game. The offensive front for Illinois did not win that moment. Huge one for Purdue.
A stop. They still have not allowed a 4th quarter touchdown, by the way, this year. And so, down by 13, Ryan Brown on 1st and 10, his own 8-yard line, all day to throw it, complete. It's caught by Michael Jackson at the 15.
How about the reaction, guys, from defensive coordinator Mike Scheer? Probably felt like he was maybe back in the middle of the Missouri defense when he was playing right there. The get-back coach has had some real trouble keeping him off the sideline. There was no keeping him off the sideline to congratulate his guys after that 4th down stop. And by the way, how about the play of Jamarian Harkless, the defensive tackle, number 97, who's been in the middle of a lot of the action up front for Purdue.
And another defensive lineman for Illinois, Eli Coonan, just made a big play. Wrapped up Brown when he stepped up in the pocket.
And here's a 4-down territory, but a 3rd down opportunity.
It's 3rd down and 2. And again, the pocket collapsing. Gabe Ackus and Angelo McCullum.
This is so impressive from Gabe Ackus. So often in these games, in the 3rd down, it's the cannon, it's the rivalry game. You want to come off the ball so fast. He comes off controlled, right? The first thing defensive coordinator Aaron Henry told us for Illinois, key to this game was we cannot give running lanes to the quarterback Ryan Brown. He comes off control to the top of the screen, eyes in the backfield the whole time, and then he retraces back to make the play.
First official sack today for Gabe Ackus. He had a sack, if you will, not statistically speaking, on the 2-point conversion. So now 4th down and caught for a 1st down as he squats to the ground to make the catch. Michael Jackson at the 20.
I'll tell you, impressive for Michael Jackson, knowing where the sticks are. So often we see receivers a little short in that regard. The ball was low, but he was already past the 1st down marker. Now they got to go.
They used 2 timeouts on defense. So Purdue down 13. Only 1 timeout remaining. We approach 3 minutes left in the game. Oh, and it's broken up. Malachi Hood on a pass intended for Christian Earls.
Nice job from Malachi Hood, just following the tight end. Almost makes a play that could have potentially sealed this rivalry game, but he drops the interception. And the big story now is you see that play, Ryan Brown, he's got to continue to just keep getting the ball out. I would stay away from the middle of the field. I'd be working the outside wideouts right now, or your slot Jackson at the top of the screen.
Boilermakers need a big play, but it's a check down and made a man miss, but then lost his footing. Going down was Antonio Harris.
Okay, all the little things showing up right now here for Purdue. Catch the ball, hand it to the official. The efficiency with 50 ticks left before the 2-minute timeout has to be at a premium.
3rd down and 5. And a back foot throw and no one there. Incompletion. 4th down coming up. Alec Bryant with some pressure.
And right now, while Aaron Henry, his personality is one where he wants to bring it, this Cannon Trophy is a big deal. This pass rush is a big deal. How about the hands right there from Alec Bryant? We talked a little bit about Joe Kim, the defensive specialist in the pass rush. That was clinic worthy, setting up this 4th down.
They just converted a 4th down on a short pass to Michael Jackson, the 3rd a moment ago. And to keep hope alive, one more chance on 4th down for Purdue. Brown throws, drops. Nitro Tuggle couldn't hang on. Maybe putting him off just a skosh was Torrey Cox Jr.
Yeah, I'd be curious if Cox got a little bit of a fingertip on the ball there. Great call. Impressive throw. Ryan Brown getting the ball out. Slant route. Does Cox get a fingertip on it? No, that's just another drop for Purdue. Ugh. And for Brett Bielema, he knew. And look, this one isn't over. There's still 2:37 left. We've seen crazier things happen in college football, but he knew he had to prepare his team for a road game, because the last time they came to this state in a road game, it was not a story that he thought reflected their reputation.
Barry Lunny had a great line to us yesterday. He said performances like what they had against Indiana will shake you to the depths of your soul. Our guys realized and responded the way you hoped they would last week, and the response has continued on. Not just the entirety of the performance, but the game within the game, responses to moments in the game, Yogi.
Well, the best teams respond. They don't react. In Illinois, they are really a proud program. You look at this schedule and how it sets up. Talk about reputation. You got an opportunity at home against the Ohio State, the #1 team. And if you want to get in the conversation for the college football playoff after that loss to Indiana, 53 points. It's a lot to overcome. I don't know if you have to win Ohio State, but it cannot look anywhere near like it did in Bloomington. They know that, and they're really proud of who they are. This is a team that wants to run the football, defend the run, and win on special teams. They got to get healthy, though, on the offensive front in advance of that one next week.
Yeah, as Josh Kreutz has not played today at center, TJ McMillan. We've seen Brandon Henderson and Brandon Hanson moving in. Hanson coming in for Henderson at right guard at times today. Saw Henderson limp off at one point, but big Brandon Henderson is in right now. And Khalil Valentine is chewing up yards and clock here at the end of the game. Purdue just used their 3rd and final timeout. So the only thing that will officially stop it is a 2-minute timeout coming up here in just a few. Purdue led 7-0 after the first quarter. Illinois scored 27 points in the second quarter. Their most in a quarter since the fourth quarter of a game against Michigan State, a huge comeback in 2019. We're at the 2-minute timeout. Battle for the Cannon Trophy, Illinois up 13. Before last year, Purdue had won 15 of 19 against Illinois. Illinois seeking back-to-back wins against Purdue in the Cannon Trophy matchup for the first time since 01-02. They're 2 minutes away. It's certainly a foot and a half into winning this game, up 40-27. They don't have both feet in the win column just yet. Trying to pick up the first down, Khalil Valentine. C.J. Nunnally stopped him short. Ball's at the 17 with a 4th and 2.
And I think this time for Coach Bielema, let's see if he decides to kick it. Yeah, looks like he's going to.
Well, an opportunity again for David Olano. Hit the walk-off field goal last week, and David Olano is coming out on the field goal here for his 5th three-point attempt. From 35 yards out. James McCourt hit some big kicks at his time with the Illini. You just saw him listed on that graphic. Most field goals in a game since McCourt,
Delay
2021.
game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Well, this will push the field goal attempt back to right at 40 yards. Everything inside of 40 in Olano's career going into today was 15 of 16, and obviously no blemishes on Olano's performance today when it comes to kicks.
And if you're Purdue, you're bringing everything on this, trying to just get any piece of the ball, give yourself some momentum with 1:10 left in the game.
That is something that could make the end of the game very interesting if that happened, Yogi. From 40 yards out with 40 points today, and Olano, Brett Bielema loves him, and we are seeing why. The sophomore from Naperville, Illinois, is really establishing himself as one of the conference's best place kickers.
Yeah, it's a huge part. You look at just last week in the Big Ten conference games, and I'd imagine how today might play out as well. There's so many close games, right? You have to win in that phase. It doesn't get a lot of love during the week and the lead up to a game, but for Illinois, they got to feel good about who they have as a kicker in Olano. As you look at some of the leaders today, Hank Beatty, I mean, he was just awesome in every which way. The little things as a route runner, continues to separate himself in this league, needs to be in the conversation among the elite playmakers. Luke Altmyer already in the conversation among the elite quarterbacks. I mean, their mastery of this system is so impressive. Then the other side, Ryan Brown, I mean, he was admirable. Like, he has left it on the grass. There's Olano's reaction. There you go. Oh, a little basketball action. Okay.
Knock it down to 3.
He's like, media day this week. Basketball. Here we go. He knows. Good promo right there, man. But overall, hey, Purdue, you need to return here, and you got to go see if you can get a score onside kick.
You just talked about all the close games, and Luke Altmyer rightly gets most of the love for Illinois' 11-4 record in one-score games since the beginning of 2023. The most one-score victories for any team in the nation. And certainly, Altmyer deserves a lot of those flowers for that, but Olano is a big part of the equation there as well.
Well, there's so many things to that equation. Go back and look at USC only a week ago. They get the ball back. They don't even have to use a timeout. They're just running the football on that final drive. And Luke Altmyer understanding the situation, the momentum they had, leaning on the defensive front for USC, set themselves up for the game-winning field goal. So every area, all phases have to understand. That's a huge part of what Illinois and their staff focuses on every week.
And so obviously playing a real kind of cloud-looking defense here to keep everything in front of them. Illinois defensively on a first down pass by Purdue, complete up to near the 30-yard line to Mockett.
Yeah, this is a good situation here for Purdue. Just trying to get going here for Ryan Brown. Same thing on the backside. Great eyes, great discipline. You need it. Nothing behind you if you're Illinois.
3-man rush, time for Brown. But just no options downfield, running and stepping out. Was he able to stretch out and reach the first down marker? I don't think so. 2 yards shy. Well, it's a career high in passing yards today for Luke Altmyer.
Yeah, he was on early on in the ball game. It felt like Purdue was making some plays defensively. He settled in this system and was just nails all day long. The location of the ball, the timing, the anticipation down the field, living up to the billing of what they want their reputation to be, which is a tough out, complimentary football. Everybody gets involved in the passing game. Clearly, Luke Altmyer is the catalyst to this offense, and I think for the second straight week, they try to reset that reputation in advance of a huge one next week.
Explosive plays, and don't forget turnovers. And a 2-0 advantage in the turnover battle today is a big part of the story as well, in addition to all of those explosive pass game plays by the outstanding Luke Altmyer.
Yeah, I think net in this game is it looks like Illinois is going to retain the cannon. You think of 9 explosive passing plays for Illinois offensively. The turnovers you just referenced. And then I just look at the little moments in the game where Purdue, if they're going to get one of these wins, they got to make those catches. They can't turn it over. And then in the middle eight, just masterful before the half from Illinois.
Maccabee's out of bounds.
Let me say this, too, about Purdue. 82 new players, 46 after spring ball, and for Barry Odom to have him here, right, competing week in and week out. You turn on Notre Dame, USC, this game, I mean, they're not that far off in year one. And when you think about the build that Brett Bielema has had and where Barry Odom has started, there's a lot of hope here, and there's a lot of optimism as you walk around different tailgates and talk to fans in this community, and they should be excited with him at the helm as the head coach.
As Barry told us yesterday, there certainly is a sign that successful things are happening, work is being done, improvements being made, but they wanted that win to validate the result today.
Yeah, well, I think while they won't get the win today, I think they're going to validate the process that they have gone through. If they look at the
full start
there.
Offense number 78. That occurred under 10 seconds. Purdue no timeouts remaining. That's a 10-second runoff, and the game is over.
And there you go. That's going to be the game. But to the point of Purdue, why can they validate it? Because there's so many little things that they can point to on film saying we were close. We were close. So the build continues for Purdue. And on the other side, Illinois, their reputation continues holding that cannon right there.
Yes, indeed. As Jeremiah Warren just picked it up, Angelo McCullum's got it now, and back-to-back wins for the Cannon Trophy against Purdue for the first time since 01-02. A career passing day for Luke Altmyer, and it's a 43-27 win today for the Illini.
It's great what Brett Bielema said about this trophy. He said, you're part of something that comes before you're here and long after you are gone. Congratulations to the 2025 Illinois squad hoisting the cannon again.
And they're 5-1 now, the number 22 team in the country, and 2-1 in the conference. We wrap it up with that from Ross-Ade Stadium. More Big Ten football at 3:40 Eastern. Maryland hosting Washington. For Yogi Roth, Rhett Lewis, and the whole crew here in West Lafayette, Indiana, and back in Chicago, I'm Mark Followell. For now, we'll send it to our Chicago studios for a Big Ten game break after a 43-27 Illinois win at Purdue.